Vast and ahoy once again to ye mateys! I be your trendy and fashion-conscious DM, Josh the Pirate, and it brings me 113 pints of pure joy to welcome ye back to Corsair's Cove and Mano a Mano. With me, I have my lovely wife, the mother of bunnies, Karen. Who the heck are you?
I am the aforementioned mother of bunnies. I'm a performer, a writer, an internet addict, one could say. Would not be unfair. But you can also listen to my dulcet tones on the D&D podcast. There Be Dragons. New episode just dropped. What? Or you can follow me on the Twitters at Mother O Bunnies. Or just find me here, Monday and Thursday nights. That's where I hang.
Very well. And I be Josh the Pirate. Yeah, you can also find me here on Corsair's Cove, because I run the channel, and run most of the D&D on it, but not all of it, and very soon you'll be seeing another new DM, well, the same new DM as before, but yes. Yeah, otherwise I'm also involved in the There Be Dragons podcast. I play the infamous and deadly pirate Scanfelspar and his little dragon, Rush. Yeah, you can generally find me infesting the art scene here in Perth, West Australia. You
are an infestation.
I am.
Of piracy.
That is very true. I also need to shout out Sirenscape for our music. It's a very handy service, and it's currently working. Yay! I've been using it for years, and only occasionally does it really fuck me over. So, check them out at sirenscape.com. Sterling recommendation from Josh there.
Always at the swearing creative when it does.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's always sound issue. So, mainly because if video doesn't work, we don't stream.
Yeah.
So, I must also remind our kind, tender, and possibly even loverly audience to please like, follow, and subscribe to all the things, you bloody champions. We have all the exclamation mark socials. We have a fully updated YouTube, nearly fully updated. And a Discord for you to come and hang out with us if you want. Yeah, you can, like, little post-game chats with the cast and stuff. Yeah, pretty fun. Karen, tell us about Ukraine. How's that all going?
Oh, hang on, sorry.
How unfucking professional.
It's not my phone, it's work phone.
It's your phone. Your work phone. Still your phone.
There we go. It's on quiet now. Sorry, everybody.
Tell me about Ukraine, you unprofessional work phone having
it's so disrespectful. Ukraine is having a rough time, guys. You may have heard there's a whole bunch of Russians in there. It's not looking good. And as a result of all the Russians, a whole lot of Ukrainians are no longer in Ukraine.
Yeah.
Which you can see is a problem for them. So if you would like to help these Ukrainians get food, shelter, medical care, you can donate to the Emergency Action Appeal. That is the link in chat. They have raised almost $2 million to help Ukrainian refugees. The Australian government is also donating $2 million. So they're very, very close to $4 million to help Ukrainian refugees. And I wish I could tell you that we don't have to worry about Ukraine. It's over. Sadly, it's not. It's dragging on. It's like, you know, the ex that won't go away, even though the relationship is clearly over.
Yeah.
It's very needy of Russia. So please, if you have some spare pennies, hop on over and shoot them across to help some Ukrainians. They will appreciate it, I am sure.
That is true. And we no longer have other charities to shout out, so you can afford to finally as well.
Well, a lot of charity stuff lately, and
yeah,
like we appreciate like immensely how generous
oh my god
viewers are to charity, because every time there's a charity stream, we're just blown away by how generous people are.
Yeah, Jasper's Game Day reached $8,000,
which is just insane.
That's nuts. Yeah.
Like they were aiming for what?
The initial was 5.
Yeah.
And they got 8 in 6 days. It's
incredible.
like, what? Yeah. The stream I ran, we made over $500 just that game. That 3-hour slot. And I was just like, that's cool. I'm pretty happy with that. Ravensteel, my brain was like, wait, you guys are drinking at 8 a.m.? No, I'm not. This is alcohol-free beer, because I don't drink in the weeks, or when I'm DMing, because that's a bad idea.
Or a good idea, depending on how you want the stream to go.
Well, it depends on
the refreshing and alcohol-free taste of Diet Coke.
So no, Ravensteel, I used to have an alcohol problem. Now I have a non-alcohol-free, alcohol-free beer problem. It's still carbs, but it's not as bad for my liver.
Yeah, and I used to drink a lot of regular Coke, and now I don't. I just drink lots of Diet Coke. It's really like a substitution for something that's not quite as bad instead of dealing with the actual problem.
Yeah. Well, I do it for you. I dealt with the actual problem. I lost weight, and
that was the problem.
Not a danger of dying anymore. Yeah,
your liver is so happy with you nowadays.
Yeah,
your liver's like, oh my god, wow.
I haven't had any of those pains in my side since then.
What? Never.
Well, mateys, may the floor beneath you remain sturdy, and all your new acquaintances be happy to talk to you, as we head tremulously at first, and then with mounting heat and passion to Telos. Karen, care to refresh us on what happened last week?
Well, where is my little book of previous episodes? Okay. Let's go back in time. Excellent. All right. So we have found ourselves in a mysterious house in a storm, which is apt because there is a storm in Perth right now. So wind, rain, that's not special effects. We're just living through that right now. So now everyone's panicking because no one in Perth knows how to drive when it's wet.
Nope.
Anyway, that's not the point. We, after finding the strange people in the basement, decided to leave them alone because they didn't seem to want to be disturbed and explore the house. I found a pretty crystal. We found a lot of empty rooms, including one that had a dead body in it, which was frightfully exciting, particularly when we got attacked by bats, bloodthirsty bats. But through judicious application of the sleep spell, the bats were subdued and we shoved them into a bag. Fresh on a bag of bat, we continued exploring the house. We found a vial of poison. I fell through the floor to the bottom floor, which was great. We have found a couple of rooms that have like bed sort of situations that we could take advantage of.
That was all in the upstairs of the house, wasn't it?
Yes. We did check out the attic. Garrett found a creepy porcelain doll with jade eyes. He just took the eyes though, because the doll was creepy. And he found the sack up there, so we moved the bats to the sack and gave him his bedroll cover back, which was what the bats were in. And then we went back down to look in the other half of the cellar. We found a very fancy bottle of wine that's worth like 50 gold pieces, which is very cool.
Under a wine rack.
And we also found a secret door to the other half of the cellar. And we're like, right, well, since there's a good chance these people who don't want to talk to us will come and stab us in our sleep, let's go in through this door and see if we can work out what's going on. So we go through the secret door, and I get shot. So Garrett, according to our very high-tech plan, flings the bag of bats at the two human men who are near us. There's a third person across the room who's the one who shot me. So most of the bats attack them, but one does attack us. So we duke it out, and fortunately we prevail. Everyone gets bitten by bats except me, I think. So the bats, as it turns out, are blood-sucking and terrifying, but very effective when deployed in combat.
They're actually sturges, in fairness. They weren't bats at all. They were sturges. They just look a bit like bats. Little pink bats with 4 legs as well as arms.
Yeah.
As well as wings, rather.
They're quite creepy, but...
horrible things.
Horrible things. We managed to recapture a couple of them, so we still have some bats in the bag. And we explore this room that we just killed 3 people in. Oops. But in fairness, they were trying to kill us. So if they hadn't done that, it would have been fine. There's a side room with a book on tides, a book about Izu, the god. And
yes. It was spelled I-U... Hang on.
I use Ed is how I wrote it down, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think that was right.
And a book of erotic poetry, which is very exciting.
Yeah, I use Ed. Yeah.
I find a waterproof coat. It's a little too big for me, but still handy. We also find a hidden compartment with a spell book in it, which is cool. There's a Goblin to Common translation guide for some simple phrases, which seem to indicate that these people have been bossing goblins around recently, which, given there's a door that's like barred and has danger written on it and has some magical energy coming from it, I feel like there might be some angry goblins in there, but we haven't investigated that yet. Who knows? We also find a lantern that looks like it's a signaling lantern, which through judicious applications of intelligence checks, we realize matches there was an upstairs window that looked down to the river with like scratch marks on the windowsill, and we reckon the signal lantern was put there in previous times. We also find a door that appears to go down to the sea. We can smell the salt.
You can hear the waves.
Yes, so at this present moment, Beryl is worried there are goblins behind the danger door, and that these guys are pirates. And we've just killed 3 of them. That was where we're at. There's 3 dead people, a bag with a couple of bats in it, and
one of them is very full.
A very fat bat in a bag.
A fat bat.
Beryl and Garrett have both taken some injuries, I believe.
Yeah, Garrett's not too bad. Garrett took 10 points of damage and Beryl took 15, yeah.
So Beryl's feeling a little worse for wear right now.
Yeah, that was it. I just wanted to check that. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, my notes are still open from last week, but it's basically just a bunch of numbers with capital letters next to it.
We keep such good track of our business.
Yeah, well, the great thing about recording these is that you can just check. I never used to take notes in D&D as well. I always used to, even when we were playing table games, I would just record them so I could listen back. Because sometimes you have months in between and you're like, what the fuck happened? Even as a DM.
And then you're like, oh, I seduced the barbarian.
Yeah.
Right.
Alrighty. Well, very well, Karen. Correct. Beryl did all of those things. So you're in a basement containing 4 doors and a trapdoor up. The door you came through to the wine cellar was well concealed from that side, but from this side it's clearly visible. Like they only bothered to disguise it from one direction. So none of them can find it. Yeah,
they don't want them finding the
none of them.
door.
Yeah, Harry Styles will not get down there. There is a door into the fancy-ish bedroom where you found all the fun stuff, and another next to it which is barred with danger written on it. And yeah, you got the strong magic vibes from that, and that's all up. If it's cardinal point directions, that is in the east of the chamber. In the west of the chamber, there is the stairs leading up to the trapdoor that you first looked down and shouted down and nobody answered. And then to the left of that, at the southwest corner of the long rectangular room, yeah, you found this sneaky secret door that you think you can hear the waves and the far distance off down into this murky.
For a little swim. You know where to go.
Garrett's like, I don't know if I want to go for a swim yet, Beryl. It's cold and dark.
It is cold and dark. The weather is really matching the setting.
Yeah.
Just like Perth isn't often this like
wintry,
wet and stormy, but it is top-notch wet and stormy today.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind a bit of a rest, actually, Beryl. No, I don't need to sleep or anything. Just a quick sort of sit down. Gather myself, you know. No,
that's good. I should probably try and heal myself up a little bit as well. I'm a little battered.
And you know, if that I can't imagine that this is all of them. If they've got 11 beds down here.
No, wrong accents.
Yeah, that's him.
I feel like there may be extra company at some point, so we might want to work out what we're doing and maybe be hiding somewhere before other people arrive.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we could go in that smaller room. The one with just a single bed in it. For a rest, you know, that like easier to fort up.
This is true. It would be. Let's just have like let's just
or we could go upstairs.
Let's just take 20 minutes. I think we should stay down here just in case someone does come. We'll hear them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right.
I think staying here. Take 20 minutes. Have a little snack. I'll patch myself up, and then I suppose we have to decide whether we want to deal with the danger door or the down to the sea door.
Do you have any magic you could use on the danger door? Figure out what's beyond it.
That's a good, like, I suppose I'd have to examine it more closely and decide what sort of magic we're dealing with. Like, is there something magic inside it, or
like if they can command the goblins, then they wouldn't be locking them away.
Oh dear, that means there's something else in there then. Okay.
Well, I could be wrong, but it feels like logical to me.
No, I pay that logic. I'm kind of just filtering through things out loud at this stage.
Maybe they haven't figured out how to tell them what to do yet, and it is just a single goblin. But that's not that dangerous. Like, even to me, that's not that dangerous.
You know what? I'm just gonna sit down, do a little bit of healing on myself,
All right.
and then I'm gonna face these questions face on.
All right. Okay. All right.
And Beryl's kind of gonna sit down on one of the beds, and I'm gonna burn some
hit dice.
Dice.
Alrighty. Now, Beryl, you're a bard.
Yes.
Which gives you Song of Rest.
Do I have Song of Rest?
Pretty sure you do.
Pretty sure I don't, but... No, Minor Illusion, Prestidigitation, Vicious Mockery, Charm Person...
No, it's not a spell. It's an ability. Features. Features and traits.
Josh, you're just baiting me to sing the Song of Rest now, aren't you?
Yeah, you ready for an earworm chat?
You ready? You ready for this, guys? Yes, I do have the Song of Rest. I'm sorry, I overlooked that.
So if you burn any hit points at all, you can add 1d6?
Yes.
Alright, well Garrett will probably burn just one, to be honest. He only needs 10 hit points.
He gets find my hit dice. I can't see them. Am I blind? Where am
you have d8s, so
oh, can I see them? Never mind. Hit dice, hit dice, hit dice.
I am uncertain. Could be up in the top corner. Conditions, no. No idea. Yeah, they're d8s. Just roll a d8.
Oh yeah, that's right. I can't do anything on this sheet because of the way I'm logged in.
I got a 1 for that Song of Rest.
I haven't sung it yet. You gotta wait until I actually sing it.
Yeah, that's valid.
And then you roll the dice. Don't be silly. Or make chat do it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Right. I'm going to roll a d6 and a d8.
I just rolled 2 d10s and a d6, and I got a total of 7.
I told you to wait until I sung.
Yeah.
Are you ready, guys?
All right. Spina's clipping finger is on the ready.
Yes, because I want this immortalized for when I'm famous.
You're about to sing it. Go on, then.
This is the Song of Rest. Yes, it will make you feel your best. Some people
started singing it, not knowing what it was.
And now they're so super rested, and it's really just because it is
the Song of Rest.
Yes, it will make you feel your best.
Hey, Samuel.
Started singing it, not
Please
knowing
stop.
what it
Please
was.
stop.
And now they're super rested, and it's really just because it is that. Yeah, and then it just keeps going on like that. I'm gonna roll my hit dice and watch them be amazing because I'd sung the song. Yeah, a 7 and a 2, so that's a 9. And I'll do one more d8 of hit points.
Spina, can you roll me a 1d10 in chat? And Raven Steel, can you do me 1d10 as well?
So that brings it to 14. So Beryl only is down 1.
One hit point, yeah.
He's down 1 hit point now.
And Thamior, if you wouldn't mind rolling me a d6.
And you're welcome, guys. I hope that's not stuck in your head
Forever. exclamation mark, roll space 6. Just no need for a D.
You don't need the D, Thamior.
And yeah, Ravensteel, exclamation mark, roll space 10. Yeah. A 5 from Thamior. Thank you very much.
There we go. It's the power of the song.
No D either. Don't need the D. Well, Ravensteel, I'm not going to tell you if you need the D or not, but not on that instance.
Oh, I found out the other day that apparently one of the things that is most commonly cut from episodes of There Be Dragons is me making sex jokes.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I'm impressed. There it is. Thanks, Bina. I don't know whether I'm like upset or impressed.
Ravensteel got a 3 as well. That's great. That brings him to 8 of the 10 he needs. Just a D10 from Spina, please. Thank you, Ravensteel. A 3 as well. Wow. So I just rolled 2 D10s, and then Chad also rolled 2 D10s, and all 3 of us rolled 4s. That's like statistically highly unlikely. But there we go. It's also enough because Thamior rolled better. So
Thamior.
Garrett has 1 hit dice left, and he's back up to full hit points.
And yeah, Beryl's only missing 1.
Cool. Alrighty. That song is an earworm, Beryl.
Yeah, I keep thinking that I should make a better version, but you know, if it ain't
I do
broken,
feel
all
like
that.
I've got the rhythm, you know.
You know, it's easy to teach people, you know, and then they can all join in and like feel rejuvenated.
Well, I do feel rejuvenated.
It certainly wakes you up. I'll give you that. Alright, let's have a look at this danger door. And I would like to go and examine the danger door more.
Okay, very well. Yep. What would you do to the danger door?
I think I will start by doing an Arcana check to see if I can discern what type of magic I am detecting.
Okay.
Because we've already established I'm feeling magic coming off, but am I like sensing a magical creature? Is there a spell in place?
Roll me an Arcana check and I will determine what the answer is. Spina got an 8 on their Arcana check, not so great.
Excellent. That is a dirty 21 on
Thank goodness.
Check.
So it's just a 21. Yeah. So yes, primarily necromancy.
Oh.
There is a bit of transmutation as well, though.
Right. Is it like inside the room or is it the room?
It is inside the room. The transmutation feels further away than the necromancy. There's some and there's a lot more necromancy than there is transmutation. Do you relay that information to Garrett?
I do. I'm like, Garrett, I'm feeling some necromantic energy inside this room. And a wee bit of transmutation, but mainly necromantic energy. And that's making me a little worried about whether I want to open this door or not.
Yeah. I don't really want you to open that. I mean, what might it... Can you hear anything?
Can I hear anything?
On your
Can
perception
I press my
check.
ear to the door and have an intense listen?
Yeah. And anybody in chat, let's say Ravensteel, exclamation mark perception. For Garrett, please.
Perception 13.
13's not bad. You do not, however, hear anything when you press your ear to the door. It is silent in there, as you say, the grave.
Can I knock on the door and then keep listening? Like
Ooh,
just a little...
but Garrett got a 19 plus. Ooh. He has at least a 1. Perception plus 1. A filthy 20. Garrett gets a filthy 20 on his perception check. Thank you, Ravensteel. Garrett's like, I think I can hear, like, rattling. like something hollow banging on something else hollow, really small, quiet. Filthy 20.
Banging on something else.
Like this sort of grinding.
Grinding.
Yeah.
That is odd. I suppose. Can I?
No, carry on.
Can I now do just a little on the door and listen to see if anything sounds different?
How loud do you knock?
Very gentle tap, like you're knocking on someone's bedroom door. You know they're inside, you're just letting them know you're out there.
Okay. Roll me a performance check.
Ooh.
That's your intention. Let's see how perfectly you nail this. You have
3,
a very...
But fortunately, I have a +10. So, that makes it a 13. Will it be lucky?
Yeah, you roundabout. It's maybe a smidge harder than you intended, and Garrett's still got his ear pressed up against the door. He goes, "Yeah, there's definitely something moving around in there. Oh, it could be bone on bone.
Oh, a skeleton.
Yeah.
A zombie. Have we found a zombie?
Yeah, at level 4, Spina, right?
I got crazy good performance.
She's not even a 20 in charisma.
Yeah, we've just boosted performance a lot. she's a
expertise.
Killer musician.
Expertise.
Speaking of her being a killer musician, that gives Beryl a little idea. She kind of gets out her dulcimer and kind of just does a few little chords and then listens to see if there's a different reaction inside the room to that, as opposed to just a knock.
How loud?
Again, just gently, like rehearsal volume. She's not trying to get over the noise of a bar. She's just doing a dun 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 dun.
Okay. I will roll for it.
I could be playing with fire here, guys. I don't know.
The door bangs, as if something just walked into it.
All right. It seems to be drawn to sound, it would seem. Hello? Are you capable of communication?
Roll me a persuasion check.
Ooh, intriguing. What do I get plus persuasion? Oh, that's a grand old 8. So I think Beryl's a little nervous, and it shows in her voice.
Okay. The door knocks twice. Like, it's whatever's on the other side. There is a sort of. It sounds like bone being knocked against the door, but it's a it's a knock. Yeah.
So it's definitely a deliberate action as opposed to just someone banging on the door.
Yeah. It's like.
Okay, I've got an idea, Garrett, and it's probably gonna seem a little weird, but just roll with me here and we'll see how it pans out for us.
Garrett has his crossbow out and he's aiming at the door. Like,
hello, Garrett.
We could just open it and take a few steps back.
We could, or, bear with me on this. Beryl kind of goes to the door and she's just like, okay, knock once for yes and twice for no. Do you understand me?
Make another persuasion check.
Much better that time. That's 17.
Okay. Okay. It knocks twice. Sorry, it knocks once.
Oh my.
I was chuckling because if it knocks twice, it doesn't understand you. But how would it know to knock twice if it doesn't understand you?
Beryl's going with it knocked twice before, so she asked it to do something different. Then
and it just does the same thing? Yeah. Right, okay.
Are you as they might say, alive.
One for yes, two for no?
One for yes, two for no.
You get in a single knock.
Okay. Are you... Oh, no, that's a silly question. I don't know the answer to that. Are you a prisoner here?
A single knock.
Okay. A single knock was the second knock on the first question. Yeah, there is a possibility that I'm just being strung along by a moderately intelligent zombie right now, but you know, these are the risks we take.
I'd love it if you said that out loud. That's Beryl. There's a chance I might be being strung along here by a moderately intelligent zombie, but these are the risks you take, Garrett. These are the risks you take as an adventurer. All right, Garrett, Beryl. Sounds good.
Okay.
How intelligent are zombies normally?
I have no idea.
I just don't want it to be another scarecrow, you know?
Oh God, yeah, that was horrible. Okay, have you been here longer than a week?
One knock.
Okay, he might just be saying one knock for everything I say.
Well, or it could be true.
Or it could be true. There's the limitations of systems. Do you know who the people here are?
Who? Who knows?
Okay. Do you wish to leave?
Interestingly, 2 knocks.
Would you like us to leave you alone?
2 more knocks.
If I open the door, will you hurt me?
A single knock.
Do you want to hurt me?
2 knocks.
Beryl's gonna just exchange a look with Garrett. Says, "Are you a scarecrow?"
There is a slight pause. Then you hear a single knock.
Yes? Oh my God! What are the odds?
It's 3 knocks. 3 knocks is the fuck.
3 knocks is rephrase, bitch.
Yes, it is a fancy dice tray, Spina. You are correct.
Smells like
It smells like rich Jarrah.
Smells like maple.
Ooh.
It smells really good, actually. Whatever they use on these. Oh.
Ask Aaron what they use.
So yeah, dice trays.
Apparently there is
sniffing wooden trays. Okay, so
apparently there's a scarecrow in there who doesn't want to hurt you.
It doesn't want to hurt me, but it will if I let it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is assuming it's telling the truth.
Well, it said it's going to hurt me, which feels like a very honest Like, if it wanted me to let it out, why would it say it would hurt me? But it
Yeah.
doesn't want to hurt me. Well, this is just curious there and curious there. Okay, oh, this is where it'd be real handy if we had a language in common. Do you speak Elvish?
One knock.
I'll swap to Elvish. And be like, if you shout, would I be able to hear you?
2 knocks.
Oh, okay. So you can speak.
You get 1 knock.
But you don't want me to let you out.
It says yes. As in, it knocks once.
Okay, Garrett, what do you want to do? Because...
I'm with you, Beryl, but...
Because I'm getting some, like... It's saying it doesn't want to be let out because it'll hurt us. But it doesn't want to hurt us. There's a prisoner here, but it doesn't know who these people are.
You hear 2 roughly spaced knocks.
Okay.
Thamiel, can you roll me 1d20 in chat, please?
Have these just been random knocks and I'm interpreting them to my own desire?
A 6. No, it was for Garrett to figure something out. He's not a smart boy.
Can I roll to see if I figure it out?
Yeah, roll me an intelligence check.
I think Karen's figured it out. Natural 20.
Okay. Beryl, it occurs to you that maybe you should just be quiet for a few minutes and see if the knocking continues. You hear 2 more knocks.
I continue to be perfectly quiet.
Then you hear 1 more.
Okay. I think it might
And then
just
another.
I think it might just be knocking on the door.
If anything, that's better, because then it's maybe not, it can hear you.
Oh. Well, how about...
And then we don't know, maybe it's not that dangerous. And obviously if it can't talk, and it doesn't seem to even be trying to get out, it's just sort of banging against the door. Just trying to get through.
You know, maybe it's like those people who put a big old danger sign on like their hutch with the rabbits in it, and it's kind of a joke. Like there is no actual danger, there's just a cute little rabbit inside.
Beryl, I'm going to let your Nat 20 intelligence run over. It's a neat idea, but these are bandits who are running a smuggling operation, as far as you can tell, something like that.
That's silly. Like, why would they do? Just
it's
don't make
funny. Garrett's like that. Maybe.
No, sorry, that's a bit silly. Ignore me. Tell you what. How about? Look, logically, I should probably just leave this door alone, but curiosity-wise, I really want to know what's in there now.
I've got an idea.
Does it involve you pointing a crossbow at the door while I'll open it?
It does, but before that...
Before that?
This one's locked. And apparently, what's in there is definitely aware and alive and moving around, but can't get out. Otherwise it would have by now.
Right.
So why don't we sweep the rest of the place first, and then do that last?
That is a good point and well made, Garrett. Shall we go down some stairs to the sea?
And until just now, I'd forgotten that was the other option.
Where do you want me to go, DM?
No, Garrett's like, yeah, all right. Yeah, that's actually, yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, it's the other way. The other way. And we can't sleep here until we've made it safe.
Exactly. You know, we could go to sleep and then a scarecrow bursts out of the danger door and we're all dead.
Beryl, I'm not confident it's a scarecrow.
I'm pretty sure it's not a scarecrow, but until I know better, you know, it's like a Schrodinger scarecrow. It both is and isn't a scarecrow until we open the door.
Right, right. That's a really upsetting concept.
It is. It's quite upsetting. So I'm glad you know who Schrodinger is. That's nice.
Oh, he was a famous wizard, wasn't he?
Yeah. I figured you being all into book learning and stuff, you might have heard.
Yeah, yeah. Beryl, while you were singing your Song of Rest and Garrett was humming along to it, you did see him perusing a couple of the books that he picked up upstairs in one of the library, and you now notice that on his chest, just above his heart, he's scratched something.
Garrett, you've drawn a little symbol on your chest there.
It's it was in one of the books I was reading. I thought I'd give it a go. I think I figured out what it might be.
Oh yeah?
Oh, it's like an instruction manual.
Oh.
On like how to improve armor and stuff. I thought I'd see if it works, give it a go, you know.
Very sensible. Not that I'm encouraging you to try and get hit in the armor just to see.
Oh no. It wouldn't work like that anyway. It's more I don't actually know exactly what it does, but it seemed to imply it was a good idea. It was like a warding thing.
Oh, okay.
I'll let you know if it works or if it seems to work or do anything at all. It might not. I don't really know what I'm doing.
You know, sometimes you just gotta try things out and see what happens.
Exactly.
Meta question. So you were surprised when I said we should go down to the staircase to the sea. What is the other option? Where's the other place we could go?
No, that is the other option. The staircase to the sea or the locked door.
Oh, right. Okay, cool. All right, well, Beryl is going to, in the spirit of being prepared, draw her short sword. And
how useful is a giant rat?
How useful is a giant rat? Oh, of course! My giant rat. I mean...
Well, you've never summoned it before, but, you know, could be handy.
I could summon the giant rat, and
does it obey you?
Well, theoretically, yes. So if it does, I might be able to send it down first.
Ooh, scout, yeah.
But I suppose it depends on how well we can communicate, you know.
Well, we've also got a bag of bats. I'm just thinking for backup, you know?
No, absolutely. That's very good.
Because there was already 3 of them, and
there's bats,
there's 10 bats. There's 10 beds. Yeah, I know, me too. It's actually like... I'm slightly sad that 4 of them died. Not that sad, because one of them was killed by me, because it was biting me, but...
Look, maybe we can, breed them. In the bag.
What, like have a bag of perpetual bats?
Oh my goodness. We need to find a wizard. And basically make it so if you put any bats back in the bag, they like duplicate. Make it like
bag
a bag of holding
bats. Bag of bat holding.
I love it. I'm making a note.
So for a different campaign set in this world, I made up it was not. It was Borgin's Bag of Fuzzies. And it's this little sack of little balls of fur that when you pull out, you throw it at the ground, turns into an animal of some sort, but it's random. You don't know what animal you're going to get. I think it's an official item. I may have made it up, but I don't think so.
Speaking of small fuzzy animals, so I went to high school today to help out a drama class, and they're next to like a little spit of woodland. And as I was walking across to the administration to sign in, I saw what in the moment my brain went was, my goodness, that's an enormous rat. Because that's exactly what it looked like. And then my brain kind of caught up and was like, oh, it's probably not a giant rat. You're next to some bushland. It's probably a marsupial. And so I asked the students when I got there, I was like, so I either just saw a giant rat or some sort of marsupial, and like, oh yeah, they try to encourage the wildlife, so it's probably some sort of marsupial. But none of them knew what they were called. But apparently they look a lot like a massive rat from behind, but if they turn around, they've got like more of a long snout. So I need to go find out what that was. But yeah, otherwise there's some freaking giant rats over there. Anyway,
I did some Googling and found the stats for a giant rat. You're looking at 7 hit points, armor class 12, speed 30 feet. It has pack tactics, giving it advantage on attack rolls against creatures that have at least one ally of it within 5 feet of them. And it's a melee weapon attack, plus 4 to hit, does 1d4 plus 2 piercing damage. And it has dark vision to 60 feet.
Excellent.
Hey, Bishop Blood, good to see you. Might have been a Bilby, yeah.
I don't think so, because bilbies have quite a distinctive tail. They have a little white tip. So, like, I only saw it briefly, but it looked like a giant rat. So, bilbies have that really cute fuzzy tail. So yeah. Probably not. Though I do love bilbies.
So, Beryl.
Anyway, yes. So I'm like, all right, Garrett. How about I summon the giant rat, and we see how well we get on.
And our bats and our rats, and we go down and.
Yeah, possibly we can use the rat to scout, and then if we encounter anything that wants to kill us, we can throw the bag of bats.
Yeet the bats.
They might be a little sluggish now, but you know, we'll give. Well,
one of them still had some oomph in him.
We'll throw the not sleepy bat. Okay, and I will pull out my new flute and play. Can I intuit what sort of tune I will have to play?
No. You were given a small piece of sheet music.
Oh, that's right. Yes,
it was like 8 bars of summoning rat.
And I will look over the music briefly and then take a breath and play it on the flute.
Very well. Beryl, make me a performance check. You have to roll pretty low to fuck this up, but.
Well, I rolled a 6, but I get a plus 10, so 16.
16 is enough to summon the giant rat. You really have a plus 10?
Yeah. Oh, because my charisma's plus 4 automatically, and then I'm at expertise on it. And I'm pretty sure there's something else boosting it as well.
Because you're level 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, performance plus 10. Wow. I love that Garrett's.
If you put all your power into
one thing. Yep. 16. Cool. You do that. You summon the giant rat, and it sort of arrives. So, because I made this magic item up, I never actually bothered to write rules for it. Karen, I will tell you mechanically. Basically, how obedient the rat is dependent on the performance check. To successfully summon the rat at all, you need to roll above a 15. If you roll above a 20, the rat obeys your commands perfectly. But if you only get over a 15, it does what you tell it, but it can't really communicate back very well. With a 20, it's almost like a familiar.
Right. So it's.
So it does what you say. It will go on your initiative. And it'll go directly after you on initiative tracker, and you can command it with a bonus action to sick 'em. Rat face, sick balls.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna kind of crouch down by the giant rat and be like, "Hi there, I'm Beryl."
It sort of stands up on its back legs and sort of sniffs your hand. It's probably looking for food. It's about the size of Siri.
Okay.
It's, about the size of a big cat or a small dog. How would it have appeared, Beryl? Is it sort of wisps of magic smoke coalesce into a rat?
It's almost like a little, like a small, slow, tornado, miniature tornado. A little willy-willy just
out
kind
of the end of the flute as you play it.
Drops to the floor and turns into...
Coalesces into a rat. Very well. Okay. You do that. Yeah, it sniffs at your hand. What would you do?
Do you talk at all?
It does not respond.
Okay, can you turn around?
It does a spin on the spot.
Oh my, that's so cute. I don't suppose it has a name, does it, Garrett? We'll have to.
Oh, probably not.
We'll have to think of a name for you. But I don't want to rush it, you know? I want to see what feels right, okay?
Oh, yeah, cool. I mean, and the rat seems to, like, nod.
Cool. Well, do you mind, tell you what, do you know how to do the whole, can you, like, squeak once for yes and twice for no?
It cocks its head like it doesn't really understand.
Oh,
you don't have that level of communication with it with this particular incarnation of it because you didn't roll particularly high in your performance check.
Okay,
It'll do what you say, but it's not smart.
Okay, can you go down the stairs and after 30 steps, if you... No, Han, that's probably too complicated for a rat. Can you go down those stairs and come back if you see another person or you get to the bottom?
You can tell the bottom... yeah, you can do that. It can do that. So it comes back if it gets to the bottom or sees another person.
Yeah.
Okay. The rat goes. Less than 20 seconds later, the rat comes back.
Okay,
Its paws are wet.
Oh, right. Okay, I don't think there's any people down there, because if its paws are wet, it made it to the bottom, right? Right, Garrett? That makes sense, right?
Yeah, I was going to ask exactly how you could determine it, but yeah, no, it's got wet paws, so yeah, it probably got to the bottom of the stairs. You'd guess.
Okay, well, Rat, you can stick with me. Let's go.
Alright, you and your rat friend go down the corridor. You head down the staircase and find yourself in an uneven, naturally formed cavern about 20 feet in diameter. It has two exits. From basically, you come down the bottom of the stairs, and your options are either left or right. To the right is a large, echoey cavern, the one that I just described. It's really quite nasty in there. It looks a bit slimy, and there is a puddle of water at the bottom of the stairs. If you head to your left, however, is a narrow tunnel that would run along the side of the room that you just exited. Though there is no sign of that room. The walls are not even in the way they were in the basement.
Okay. Well, what do you think, Garrett? Left or right?
Ooh, you always reckon right?
That is a good point. Let's go right. Come on, Rat.
So yeah, you head into that cavern. There are some... make me a perception check, Beryl. This cavern has a sort of depression in the center of it. It's very obviously not man-made. It's very obviously naturally formed. Sea cave, or well, it's more of a river cave actually, because it's not on the sea exactly. But yeah.
That is a 21. Oh my
Beryl, on the ceiling, you can see a couple of large patches of green slime.
Oh. Do they look...
Well.
Does the slime look like it's moving? I suppose one could say.
You're a dwarf. You have dark vision, don't you?
Yes.
Make me a nature check.
Ten.
It does not appear to be moving. You are aware that there are some kinds of slime that are animate, but you can't see it move.
Is there like a little pebble or something on the ground that I could throw at the slime?
Oh yeah, yeah. Bishop Blood, can you make me an investigation check? ! Investigation in chat, please. Garrett will be checking around while you're looking at that. Beryl, make me an unarmed attack on the... Wait, so yes, dex-based attack on the ceiling, but you're not proficient with thrown rocks, so just a dexterity check, really. Bishop Blood rolls a 4 for Garrett's investigation.
17.
Thank you.
For my
17.
Check too.
You nail it. So Garrett's investigation is a +0. So yeah, Garrett didn't find shit looking around this empty cave. Don't worry, there wasn't anything to find. I was just wondering if he notices stuff. So yeah, Garrett's like, there's another exit over there that leads around to the right. But get Beryl, yeah, you nailed this. Can you roll me one? No, what's your dex?
My dex is 16.
So +3. Yeah, you do 4 points of damage to this thing on the ceiling. Because it's 1 plus your dex mod, from this little rock. As you hear a squeal.
Oh.
And one of these green slime clusters drops to the ground and sort of rears up at you a little bit, with several sort of tendrils reaching out of it, pseudopod-like, sort of reaching towards you. And the other one appears to be maneuvering to you. It is a little bit of a ways away, but it's sort of sliding across the ceiling. I'm going to say Garrett is going to attack it because he's like, ah, freaking die! So Garrett will shoot it with his crossbow, and wow, you provoked that real quick. So Garrett, short, crossbows it. An 18 for Garrett. 23 to hit. 1d8 plus 3. Yeah, skewers this thing with a crossbow bolt, and yeah, just lances into it for a further 8 damage. Yeah, it squeals and ceases moving.
But there's still another one?
There is another one gliding towards you across the roof. Beryl, I will give you an action before it takes its...
I'm going to use the cantrip Vicious Mockery.
to make fun of this slime.
I'm going to insult the slime.
Very well. Insult the slime.
Don't you come any closer, you disgusting roof-clinging piece of grossness, or I'll set my rat on you.
You and, do that.
That does 2d4 psychic damage. So it takes 7 psychic damage.
It has to resist, doesn't it?
Oh, sorry, yes.
Yeah, it's going to take half because it did quite well.
It's going to be 15.
Yeah.
Well, it takes half of 7.
I got 18 on the dice. So half of 7, it takes 3 psychic damage. As you insult it, you hurt its feelings a lot. And it drops to the floor. Now, I'm going to say, it's not technically in the rules exactly, but it lands in front of you and sort of rears up. It's going to make an attack, but your rat friend, because you didn't use a bonus action, I will say that you told it to prepare its attack. Like, if I'll set my rat on you...
Yeah, and I'm like gesturing to the rat like, Oh, he's gonna get you.
It rolled an 18 on its attack, however, so you are going to take just a little bit of pseudopod damage. It smacks you in the face for 2 points of damage, Beryl. This nasty green pseudopod reaches out and sort of... It actually doesn't slap you, it more like runs itself down you, and it feels like, acidic, nasty,
no touchy, no
poisony.
touch.
And then the rat leaps at him. The rat gets a... Fortunately, these things have an extremely low AC, so yes, the rat got an 11, which is actually what it needed. Yeah, so Ratty Boy is going to... Spina, can you roll me 1d4 in chat, please? And your rat will attack for that many points of damage plus 2 or 3? 2, 3, 3. Which might be enough to kill it. They're not particularly tough things. Plus 2.
Come on, buddy. You got this.
It sort of gives out a chittering screech and leaps. Actually, it had advantage because you're next to it. Yeah, it would have gotten a 14, and that's better. So it definitely hit. I rolled it just to see if it got a crit. Or somebody else, if Spina isn't yet available. 1d4 in chat, please.
Rolls, exclamation mark, roll space 4.
Yeah, it...
Ooh,
Bishop Blood, max damage.
5 points of damage
is what was required. Yep, it takes that, and yeah, the rat sort of dives on it and just sort of scratches away at it with its 4 claws, and just bits of slime just fly off. The rat looks up at you, like a little bit mucky now, but like, and looks pleased with itself, like, gotcha, there you go.
Well done. And I'll like pull like a bit of. I'll go into like my food supplies and I'll give it a snack.
Oh sure, yeah. You pull out a little bit of jerky.
Give it a little bit of jerky, a little bit of bread. It's like good work, rat.
And it chitters happily as it noms down that. Yeah, you have dealt with the 2 slimes on the roof, and Garrett is going to retrieve his crossbow bolt. Because it's just sticking out of the floor, and just pops it back into his crossbow and pulls back the string again. Resets the bolt and goes, right, that was gross. Good job, rat. That rat immediately useful.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to throw any bats.
We can save the bats for whatever comes next.
I mean, the bats are cool, but the rat does what we say.
This is true. There is a chance that the bats will just attack us.
Like, the bulk of the damage I took in that last fight was from a bat.
This is true. It's kind of... It's like when you cast a destructive spell, but you cast it too close to yourself, and then you just end up setting yourself on fire.
I can't relate, but yeah.
Oh, neither can I. I would never be so foolish as to not check the size of a room before casting an area spell. Okay.
Shall we?
Shall we sally forth?
Garrett suggests that you make your way around the room in case there's more slimes that you hadn't seen on the roof.
Look, that's an excellent suggestion, Garrett. This is why this is why we keep you around.
So yeah, you slink around the corner, around the side of the room, and find yourself in another natural cavern. This one's slightly larger. And does possess a second exit, like there's an entrance to the one you're coming through and an exit. It is roughly circular, naturally formed cavern, about 25 feet in diameter. Yeah, there is anything else you'd have to look for?
I would like to have a look around.
Investigation, perception, whatever you fancy.
Go with investigation.
In which case, Spina, can you roll me a perception check for Garrett? Garrett will look while you investigate.
10.
A 10. Beryl, you do find some evidence of that, like, this has been used as a place to rest. Garrett is looking at the ceiling, just checking it out. He says, doesn't look like any in here, Beryl.
Oh, good. That's what we want.
Like footprints and... Oh, damn you.
Sorry.
Hey, I have empathy.
You're not a psychopath. Congratulations.
Oh,
yeah. I'm pretty sure you weren't a psychopath already, but it's always nice to have it confirmed.
Yeah, you can see a couple of spots where barrels would have been placed on the floor, like very clean circles and stuff, and footprints, footmarks, that sort of thing. It's not, and no one's made any effort to hide them at all, which is why a 10 did it. Well used, but not currently used.
So there's no, like, treasure chests or anything?
No, not with a 10.
Okay. Hey, Rat. Do you think you could see if you can find anything?
The Rat has advantage on perception checks that involve smell. And dark vision to 60 feet.
Cool.
It'll make a perception check.
Don't know how it's going to communicate with me if it finds anything, but
yeah, that's why I'm going to roll it. Let's roll a d20 for the Rat. An 18 on the dice. Okay, good job, Rat. Yeah, the Rat, which also has a... Oh, it's a straight 10 for wisdom, so it's not shit at this. Yeah, the Rat sort of cocks its head a little bit like, you want me to do what now? Okay. And scampers off up the corridor away from you. And how long would you let it go before you wondered where it was or followed it?
I'd give it 30 seconds.
Yeah, it comes back about 30 seconds in. No, I prefer Scoot Rat, actually. Scoot. Not a bad name for a rat.
No, it's a rat.
Or Scout. Yeah, it scouts up ahead for you, comes back, looking agitated.
Okay, should I follow you? I'll follow you. You show me.
Alrighty. How are you approaching this?
Carefully, sword in hand.
So, stealth?
Stepping quietly. Stealthing, yes.
Stealthily. So roll me stealth, please.
Stealthily following the rat that may or may not understand a word I'm saying. Oh shit, 12?
Garrett got a 14. Yeah. Well, it's what you rolled. So, yeah, you make your way following this rat quietly. And around a couple of corners, you basically follow it up the way it went. You can, when you get to the end of the tunnel it went up, to your left you can see the stairs you came down, so you've done a full circle.
Oh.
However, to your right, the passageway continues on, and that is the direction you can hear the sea from. And then, yeah, you continue walking around to the right, and you can see the corridor branches off. There is a corridor that goes to the right and follows down towards, and you think you can hear the sea from that direction. From the other side, you can... This is still quite a ways away, but you can make out a large cavern. About the same size as the previous two, maybe a little bigger. And within it, you can see movement.
Does the rat go that way?
That is the rat. The rat sort of indicates that way.
Does it point with its cute little rat hand?
It does a sort of, no, it like a pointer dog. Like points with its nose, and its tail goes straight, like that way.
Garrett, I think we're gonna have to be very, very quiet, okay?
And then you hear from the far end, you hear, "You should have been more quiet already."
Oh, shit.
And then a firebolt flies out of the corridor, fires out of the room at you, Beryl, but misses you completely. I rolled a natural 1. And roll initiative, I think.
Well, shoot.
Yes, he did.
16 initiative. The rat goes on my initiative.
Yes, he does.
I assume if the rat is killed, it can be resummoned, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's not a one and done rat. It's like a repeating rat.
Repeating rat. The pipe of repeating rats. Beryl got a 16. Oh, I'm not sure I'm okay with that. Garrett is a +3. 18 for Garrett. And then the rest of them, a 17 and a 3. So the 17 is this person's accomplices, who will get a 17 because, and they got a +1, so 4. But the others have, well, actually, their average dex is actually higher. +2, +1, and a +1. All right, yeah, no, they would be. They'll be after Garrett, but before Beryl. So Garrett's like, "What do we do, Beryl? Time for bats?"
Yeah, throw the bats.
So Garrett is going to dash forwards. With his bag of bats out. So, the room you can see beyond you is... I need 2 different bits of the book for this. Not that. The cavern, like the passage leading to it, is well lit by torches held in simple iron brackets. Around the walls, you can see 5 small bolts of cloth stacked against the wall to the left of the entrance, and to the right there are 8 small casks in a neat row. It contains a group of 4 creatures. 2 look similar to the ones you've already bested, a man and a woman in dirty, worn clothes. Clearly just hired help. One of them is armed with a bow, the other just has a sword. The third is a tall, bald man with piercing green eyes and a commanding air about him. That's the guy who shot a firebolt at you. The last creature is an oddity. They tend to keep to themselves, though your time in the watch you would certainly have had an opportunity to see a few, even if you didn't necessarily speak to them. They tend to be quite law-abiding, at least when they're in places where laws are enforced. He looks like a sturdily built goblin, but is much taller and possesses quite a thick black beard. He is wearing well-made suit of armor and wielding a scimitar that looks like he knows how to use it. Beryl, this is a hobgoblin.
Oh.
And so Garrett is so the way up towards there is a small like crevice in the rock. It's even on the map, which is really cool. That to the left hand side of the entrance to this cavern, that Garrett ducks into as he throws this bag of bats that contains 2 bats. Yeah, he throws the bats, which have had a little time to digest their meal. So the pair of Sturges, I will now roll for their initiative as well. They got an 11. So the Sturges will go on initiative 11, flying out of the bag. And Garrett is going to shoot his crossbow into the room. Beryl, who would you like Garrett to shoot?
The oddity, please.
Ah, that hobgoblin. Alrighty. Garrett's going to shoot the hobgoblin. A 19 on the dice. Garrett, 24 to hit. For 6 piercing damage on the hobgoblin. He needed quite a lot to hit, but he did. Yeah. The hobgoblin takes 6 points of piercing damage. Six. Yeah, cool. and hisses and sort of gabbers something back at you. At Garrett. Which it then acts upon because it's now its turn. It's going to rush out, its scimitar drawn, and it's going to attack Garrett. Oof. Oh no, it only gets one attack. That's good. It's going to two-handed attack though, and a 15 on the dice is enough to beat his armor class. It's lucky because the other dice was a 20 on the dice, but we're not using that one. I thought I had 2 attacks. So yeah, he clocks Garrett a good one for 1d10 plus 1 slashing damage. 8-9 slashing damage on Garrett from this goblin, this hobgoblin. Garrett is down to 24 hit points. And Garrett goes, "Ow! Beryl! Ow! That! Ow!" The other two in there, there is a bloke with a bow who is going to shoot you, Beryl, because he can't see Garrett.
What a dick.
Yep, probably. This one is going to make 2 ranged attacks at you. Oof, I'm rolling well. A 16 and a crit. That dice has done 2 crits in a row.
Oh, just hit me twice.
I did just hit you. It was a filthy 20 and a not so filthy 20.
What happens if we both die here?
You'll be fine. 15. Yeah, 15 points of piercing damage all up, Beryl. Could have been a lot worse. From 2 arrows from the scout, and the last bandit, the woman with the short sword, is also going to attack Garrett. Actually, no, she's going to attack Garrett. But a 14 does not hit. She's going to... No, what she would be doing is now being swamped by bats. What am I talking about? So, Beryl, it's now your turn. Yeah, she is going to be like, and swipes at one of the bats dead, for 1 damage. She kills the fat bat that doesn't get out of the way. There is only a single bat in there now. He's like, oh god, I hate bats! Oh god! And Beryl, it's your turn.
How close together are our enemies?
This woman who's attacking the bats and the chap who fired a firebolt at you are about, and the scout are all within 15 feet of each other.
Right. And the hobgoblin is how far away from
you? A bit closer. They're all at sort of towards the back end of the cave. Yeah, the hobgoblin is next to Garrett. At 20 feet closer to you than the others.
Right.
He'd only be about 15 feet away from you as well.
Yeah, I can't do an area effect that will hit all of them.
What's the radius on sleep?
Sleep is 20 feet.
Yeah, that would get all of them.
It would?
Yeah, you can get well, 3 of them, not 4 of them, but 3 of them. And, you know, you probably won't roll enough hit points to put 4 of them to sleep anyway.
This is true. Alright. I am going to cast Sleep at 3rd level.
Wow. Okay. Yep.
Which is... a descending order of current hit points, so I'm aiming for the 3 that are together.
Mm-hmm. And I'm saying you're probably going to be tweaking this so that you don't get the bat.
If I can exclude the bat, I will exclude the bat.
I will allow you to exclude the bat.
Alright, so it's at 3rd level.
You get to say some fun sentences while you're playing this game, don't you? Yep, 3rd level, which is like 68?
I'm just trying to spot it. I saw it a second ago. Now I can't remember. Where does it say? Where does it say?
Might be 7. I think it's 5d8s at level 1 and 68s at level 2 and 78s at level 3.
5d8.
But then when you overcast...
And then it goes...
It'll be at the
It's
bottom.
casting at 3rd level. So... 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 9.
9? Is it 2d8s for every level after first?
2d8s for every
Wow,
level.
okay.
So 9d8s.
Nice!
I'm gonna have to do this in
11, 26,
do this in batches.
27. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so we got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, plus 5, so we got 17. 20, 24, 28.
That's one of them. Oop, that's 2 of them.
30, 34 in total.
The woman who's attacking, who just killed the fat bat, and the archer both fall asleep.
Oh.
They both sort of, their eyes just flutter and they both just sort of collapse to the ground. Garrett goes, "Nice, Beryl, nice!" And he's drawn his short sword and he is dueling with this hobgoblin. The last Sturge is going to go for the actually, you know what? That Sturge would probably latch onto one of the. Let's roll for it. On a 1, it will go for the sleeping bandit. On the 2, it'll go for the sleeping archer. On a 3, it will go for the wizard who's still standing. And on a 4, it will go for the hobgoblin, because those are the nearest 4 creatures. The 3, it did exactly the thing you wanted. It goes for the wizard. It's going to screech and sweep in towards the wizard, making an attack against him. A 16 on the dice. This dice is rolling good. I have yet to miss with this dice this evening. 2 crits. And it will roll, 1d4 plus max damage on that. Roll up and see if I can find what the stats for Sturges are. I did write them down. Here we go. So it's a +5 to hit, so it got a 21 to hit. 1d4 plus 3 piercing damage. So this guy's going to take 7 piercing damage.
Oh dear! Oh, the bat! The bat! Oh.
From the bat, as the bat latches onto his neck. And it goes, and it's his turn now. And I'm afraid he's going to attack that bat.
I have a feeling we're about to lose all our bats. But, you know, they were fun while they lasted.
He just rolled a nat 1.
Yes!
He missed the bat. But it's very much as like, who does this? Garrett is now facing off against this hobgoblin, which is quite a bit taller than he is, and heavily armored. But I'm going to get chat to roll this one for me. So chat, can we have an exclamation mark roll space 20? Whoever does it first. I'm going to need 2 anyway. And as his bonus... Oh no, I'm actually going to need 1 because he's going to do something else as his bonus action. 14
nice,
on the
Bishop
dice
Blood.
from Bishop
14.
Blood, plus 5 from Garrett is a 19,
Nice.
which is 1 more than he needed. So Garrett hits, but as his bonus action, Garrett slaps his chest, slaps his palm against the thing he scratched on his chest, and Garrett is going to use his fire rune. He is going to smack this this hobgoblin for 1d6 plus 3, so 6 points of damage, which does not kill it. And then a pair of flaming handcuffs, like manacles, wrap themselves around the goblin's wrists and pull it to the ground. Dealing a further 2d6 points of fire damage. For a further 10, which is more than enough to do for this hobgoblin.
Heck yes, Garrett!
Garrett goes, "Oh wow! Oh, that worked! Oh wow!" As he slashes, the flames sort of ripple up his scimitar as he slashes across this goblin's chest, and then the goblin sort of staggers away, clutching the gash in its chest. The fire wraps around its wrists, and it looks sort of shocked and confused, and then just follows its wrists down to the ground, and then it sort of stops moving as it starts trying to struggle, and then you can see it weakening, and eventually it just collapses on the floor at Garrett's feet. As it does so, the fiery manacles disappear. Yes, Garrett has just used the fire rune. When you hit a creature with an attack or a weapon, you can invoke the rune to summon fiery shackles. Target takes an extra 2d6 fire damage and must succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained for 1 minute. But it rolled a 2 on its strength save, and it died anyway. The target can repeat the save at the end of each of its turns. Once you invoke that rune, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest. So that's done. However, yeah, that's
nice.
What Garrett did.
Very nice, Garrett.
So we may, though the astute among the audience may have realized, Ravensteel has, he's not a multi-class, he is a straight fighter with the Rune Knight. Yes, absolutely. He's no rogue. Feels like he should be because he's a halfling, but no, he's a Rune Knight fighter.
He's a former thief, he's reformed.
Yeah. Beryl's the one who's a little bit sneakier. But she's a bard. So yes, that is what Garrett is, but we are working it in narratively. There is still, however, one more creature that is awake and standing, and it's, all three of the bandits' assistants are unconscious or dead. So Beryl, it's your turn. Also bear in mind you have a rat.
Oh yes, I'll be like, go get him!
So that's your bonus action to command your rat. Do you want to do anything your own self?
I will use Vicious Mockery again.
Huh?
Or should I use another spell slot? I got 1 3rd level. I don't think I've used any of my 2nd level spell slots. And I think I had 2 1st level. Tell you what, how about I do sleep at... Oh, but then I'll knock out the bat.
The concentration spell sleep spell, isn't it?
Oh yes, I can.
Is it? I don't know. I'm not sure. But you can only put.
I know it lasts for a minute.
Oh, okay. Well, you could do sleep again if you like, or you could try something else, or. Yeah, it would be impossible to do sleep without knocking out the bat. However, this guy has taken damage now. Do you want to take him alive? Probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah. Sleep will, like, preserve the bat. Like, it's not going to kill the bat. It's just going to knock it out.
Yeah. It will. That's true. They only have 2 hit points, so...
Cool. Well, I'll use... second or
I'll give you Ravensteel, he does look like a rogue. Like, the picture of him on the screen looks pretty roguey to me. It's the crowbar that really does it, but yeah, no, he is... When Karen built him, he was just a pure level 2 fighter. Because Beryl needs sturdy backup.
We pimped him out.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Well, I will do second
level sleep.
2nd level sleep.
Oh, do that.
So that's 7d8. 6, 7, 8, 9.
The number you are looking for is 22.
17, 18, 25.
Whoop, there you go. It's done it.
And another 5, so 30.
Yeah. You save not only his life, but also the bats, as both creatures just sort of topple to the ground. However, Beryl, do you move?
I'll run forward to tie him up, basically.
Beryl, make me a perception check.
Natural 20.
As you run into this room, you pass by the second cavern, basically. There's another cavern entrance, another corridor that leads down towards the sea. And as you run past it, you see a second hobgoblin coming up that corridor. But Garrett says, "Don't worry, Beryl, I've got this one. Tie him up." Yeah, Garrett braces himself for the charge of this second hobgoblin. And I think he will use his... he's going to use his second wind as a bonus action to regain 1d10 plus 3 hit points. So Ravensteel, if you wouldn't mind rolling me 1d10 in chat, please. ! Roll space 10. So that Garrett can regain some hit points, because he took a bit of a nasty hit from that first hobgoblin he fought. So he's like, charges himself up for it, and then he goes, yeah! He is fresh out of Rune Knight stuff to do, unfortunately, so that's that. But yeah, he's still up for it. Got a 9. That'll do it. He's back to full.
Oh, Garrett.
Garrett's good boy today.
Garrett's worth every penny right now.
A short sword attack. 18 on the digital dice. For 1d6 plus 3 slashing damage. 5 on the dice. I'm liking this new set. So I won a set on the Jasper's Game Week dice. So I actually have Jasper's Game dice set on my D&D Beyond. And they're rolling quite well. That's 8 points of damage to the second hobgoblin. They're tough, but they don't have a huge amount of hit points because they normally rely on their AC. Yeah. That's 8 points on the second one. From Garrett, it's going to retaliate, however. It did not like that one at all. This appears to be a female one, because I'm very egalitarian. Everybody gets to be killed by Garrett. This one is going to... 12 on the dice is definitely going to hit him. This is, again, a two-handed hit. 1d10 damage. And she is going to use her martial advantage feature to do an extra 2d6 points of damage to Garrett. Which is basically once per turn when the hobgoblin can deal an extra 2d6 to a creature it hits with a weapon attack if that creature is within 5 feet of an ally of the goblin. Oh, I can't do it. Oh, I didn't read the whole thing. No, neither of them could. In which case, it got 3 plus 1, 4 points of slashing damage on Garrett. Garrett's like, your buddy was better. As he tanks this hit. The rat doesn't want to attack the sleeping guy.
Can I redirect the rat to go for the hobgoblin?
Yeah. I will say that you used sleep before commanding the rat. So you've commanded the rat to go and help Garrett?
Yeah. Like, rat, help Garrett! His ankles!
So yeah, the rat, it'll be your turn and the rat's turn. I'll just do the rat now. Do you want to roll for the rat?
Sure.
Or do you want Chat to roll for the rat?
You know what, Chat can roll for the rat. Don't let me down,
Bishop Blood
Chat.
or Ravensteel, whoever wants to. Can we get a d20 in chat for the rat? Rat attack. The rat could do this. Oh, do we have a bunny inside?
No, the wind is just blowing the cat flap. I keep thinking a rabbit's coming, but it's
the
just
rat
the
got an 18 on the dice. It needed 18 to hit.
Amazing.
The rat hits. Bishop Blood, roll that damage. Roll those bones. 1d4, please.
Come on.
We need a 3 on the dice. Hack tactics. Oh yeah, it would have had advantage. Well, it doesn't need it. I'll roll it just another one, see if we get a crit. No, a 1 on the dice is not quite enough to kill him, but he takes a further 3 points of piercing damage from this rat, putting to 11 hit point, 11 damage. Beryl, there is a badly wounded female hobgoblin, a dead hobgoblin male, and then 3 sleeping bandits and a bat in this room. What do you do?
I want to tie them up and put the bat in the bag.
You put the bat back in the bag, tie the bag up so that you've still got one good bat. Yep. It's now looking pretty happy. It's a pretty peaceful, full bat. Because it already had some blood today. And it just got 7 more from this dude. So yeah, bat back in the bag. You have about 50 seconds before these people wake up.
Cool. I will tie them
Begin tying them up. Very well. Okay. Yeah, you probably find enough rope in here. There are scraps of rope and stuff that you can start doing it. I would say it might be a struggle to tie 3 people up in 50 seconds. You could certainly manage 2, but I will get you to make sleight of hand checks, I think, to you're not tying, basically.
I'm pretty sure I have rope, by the way.
Oh, you definitely have rope as well. You just don't want to use one single length of 50 feet of rope. Yeah. To tie up 3 different people. It'll do 1, certainly, but yeah, there'll be extra rope.
Cool, sleight of hand check. 22.
22. And I will say you can very well tie up certainly 2 people in the time.
Right,
Which
definitely do the wizard and whichever of the other guys is closest.
The archer, I would suggest.
Cool, I will tie up the wizard and the archer.
He hit you for a good hit. Yeah. Yeah. Garrett is fighting this hobgoblin, and it is back to the top of the order because the Sturge is asleep, as is the wizard. So Garrett, yeah, let's have another attack from chat. Whoever wants to do it, Spina if you're there, Bishop Blood, Ravensteel, whoever wants to. Throw me another Garrett attack. We will add 5 to it.
Come on, guys. We're so close. Could taste victory.
Finish him. We can actually have 2 because he has a bonus action attack with his offhand weapon.
Oh, yes he does.
He's so
handy.
And he doesn't have a bonus action thing to do. Raven still got a 2, but Bishop Blood got a 14, which if you add 5 to it will hit. So Garrett hits with the offhand attack. That's alright, Ravensteel. He only needed to hit it. The short
I'm like,
sword...
this guy's so close, this lady's so close to death.
Because he has his fighting style is 2-weapon fighting. So he is good with his offhand. 5 damage is what was needed. And this hobgoblin goes down, a nasty wound in her neck. And she's and drops. And we are Garrett will then come in and assist you tying up the third bandit. The woman who was savaged by a bat and in other ways did not actually do any damage to anybody. And yeah, you are in a idle cave as far as you can tell. Make me a perception check.
I'll learn more.
That's what you're listening for.
17 on the dice, so that's a dirty 20.
Filthy 20. You can hear the sounds of waves and crashing in the distance. Not too far away now, you would guess only 1 cavern further away. But you don't think you can hear any movement from any body in here anymore. As you stand there listening, the bat starts moving around in the bag again. The bag starts flapping around, and the archer and the swordswoman, both sort of their eyes sort of flutter open, and they find themselves their hands and feet bound. Did you gag them?
I would have gagged the wizard.
Good call. Well, the other two are like, oh, damn it!
Welcome back.
Sandballot, wake up! The archer turns, says to the wizard. He says he's looking at the wizard, and as he says it, the wizard's eyes sort of flutter open as well.
Now, there was no need for violence, but you know, you really just kind of laid into us there. Sorry about your hobgoblins.
All right, hello. Needy puppy who's wearing a super cute costume. You want to show chat how you look like a cheetah? Silly Papa. Use it.
I get on the record that I'm not responsible for that outfit, but I do enjoy it anyway.
No, I own that one. That one was me. Yeah. The archer will say, "No, you're going to want to avoid any further entanglements with hobgoblins. Then they they don't like people who kill their own."
Well, provided you don't tell anyone, how's anyone gonna know?
Are you going to kill us?
Well, that depends on you. Now, being an ex-law enforcement officer, you know, I do appreciate due process, but
Damn it.
given you tried to kill me, technically I could execute you for the attempted murder of, you know, a couple of private citizens just poking around a cave trying to see what's going on.
I mean, yeah, that was what we had an issue with. This is our place, you know, and you just come barging down here.
Well, that's one way to look at it.
I mean,
the other...
we made it pretty clear we didn't want anybody coming down.
Yeah, but the trouble is that's a bit of a red rag to this particular bull.
But you blame us for getting violent with you when, you know, you barge in unwanted.
Well...
You shouted down and we didn't answer.
Yeah, which frankly was more suspicious than anything else. If you'd called back and go away or I'll kill you, I would have respected that intention.
He does not respond any further. He's just like, well, clearly we have separate... Like, he gives you a sort of shrug, like, well, clearly we have different modus operandi then. But,
that's fair, but I feel like, and, you know, feel free to correct me, that you might be engaged in some sort of nefarious activity down here.
Garrett says, my guess is smugglers, Beryl. Looking at the rolls of fabric, and there are 5 nice rolls of fabric and 8 small barrels that you would guess contain a fluid, probably alcohol of some sort.
I would like to go sniff the barrels to see if I can work out what it is.
Yeah. I have a dog on my lap, so let me get my book.
Oh, why, thank you, Ardana. We do try to look fabulous at all times.
Oh.
Love a good compliment.
It is true. Hey, Ardana, how are you, my lovely friend? I had the immense pleasure of playing with Ardana last Tuesday, and it was excellent. Where are we? Okay. Yes. Hello, puppy.
She's like, no, you will not ignore me. I will be loved.
There are 5 bolts of silk, each worth 50 gold pieces. You'd think, Beryl. And the casks are full of brandy.
Oh. Well, that's a nice tipple.
You'd think probably worth 10 gold a piece on the market. Though if you returned it to the market it was stolen from, you might have a problem selling it on. But you might get a reward for returning it. It just might not be the full value.
Oh, no, that's fair. Oh, what a nice little stash you got here. Might I ask where it was heading?
Roll me a persuasion check.
14.
Yeah, all right. The archer says, bottle down.
Oh, we were heading that way. I hear it's a lovely town.
Yeah, it's all right if you don't mind halflings. No offense. And Garrett points his crossbow at the guy and says, none taken.
Yeah, it's easy not to be offended by people when you could kill them if you wanted to. I have a question.
You have a couple of arrow wounds from this particular person.
Yeah, I'm bleeding.
He actually did like half your hit points in a single round. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna kill him. No, sleep, good spell. Sleep is a good spell.
Yeah, I do like it. It gives me the chance to like explore my curiosity, because y'all have a door up there. It says danger on it in large letters, and there's something inside there that kind of it knocks back if you knock, and it sounds an awful lot like bone.
You haven't gone and agitated them, have you?
Well, I did knock on the door, so does that count as agitating it?
Maybe, I don't know. We don't really know what they are.
What do you know what it is, sort of? Could you describe it?
Well, it's a skeletal thing.
Right. So it would not be in my best interest to open that door then.
Well, no. Unless you want to go looking for whatever's in there. There's a few in there, we think. Don't have a head count on them, though. Just more than we can be asked dealing with.
That's fair. So...
Probably belong to the previous owner.
Right.
Might even be the previous owner, who knows. Guy who lived here was a bit of a nut job before, apparently. He did a whole bunch of experiments and stuff.
Yes, we did get that impression. How long y'all been hanging out here?
Few months. Do you, like... What's going to happen to us? Like, if I keep answering your questions, are you going to let us go, or what?
Oh, maybe. What do you think, Garrett? Like, we could execute him, but...
I'm not into cold-blooded.
No, me neither. And technically, I'm no longer a law official, so I don't have any authority to arrest him, per se.
That being said, they do know our names. And I don't want them telling anybody I killed a hobgoblin. Or two. I killed 2 hobgoblins, and I'm quite proud of it, actually, thank you. Hobgoblins, pretty hardcore guys.
No, you did a good job. You did a good job.
Did you see my spell?
That was amazing.
It's a rune. It's called a rune. It's a giant thing.
Wow. It's very handy.
Yeah.
Very impressed.
I need to read that book more.
You do. Aren't you impressed? What's your name?
Michael. And
Hi,
yes,
Michael.
I'm very impressed.
Nice to meet you. And you are a young lady?
Sandra.
Sandra and Michael, nice to meet you. And, sorry, I think you already said the name of the fellow I've gagged.
Sanballat.
Sanballat. Some sort of magical man, I assume.
Yeah, he was trying to figure out stuff about the owners, previous owners' stuff.
Right. Okay.
He's the boss, and he's looking daggers at me. What do you want me to do? You want me to not be quiet? You want me to be quiet? Because they'll just shoot us. This one doesn't seem bothered at all. Like, she'll just knock you out again or whatever, or just leave us here tied up. What's the rat doing? Puppy does this a lot, Ardana.
Her modus operandi.
Yeah.
The only reason she hasn't come to bother me is because I got the door shut.
Yeah.
Very mean of me.
Yeah.
I imagine the rat's like just chilling next to me.
Yeah.
I suppose we could negotiate.
Well,
I assume y'all want to live.
Yeah, obviously.
And you, Mr. Wizard Man, with the strange name.
Sanballat, you would think sounds, foreign. You would guess Chaldoranian. Across the southern sea.
Does he nod or shake his head, or?
Onto whether or not he wants to continue living.
Yes.
He nods. He knocks twice. Yeah.
I thought that might be the case. Now, look, on principle, I'm opposed to crime, but given we did technically trespass into your area, though frankly it was mainly because I thought you were up to some sneaky shit, and I was right. Those detective instincts have not gone super rusty, I'm prepared to negotiate a way in which you get out of this alive, and so do we.
Part of that would be conditional on them not telling every hobgoblin they see that we killed a bunch of their hobgoblins?
Pretty much. As far as you're concerned, those hobgoblins just drop dead of natural causes.
Sure. I've got no issue with it. I mean, I don't know how you plan to make us, like, ensure that.
Well, let's just say that I know your names, or at least the names you've deigned to give me. Pretty sure at least his is correct. I know where this place is. I know where you've been stealing from. And I know you have some skeletons trapped in the basement. And this is all very interesting information that I could pass along to people who, you know, could make life real difficult for y'all. But, you know, folks gotta eat.
Valid.
And frankly, I think not killing you is very generous of me, really.
All right. So what are you going to do then?
Well...
How do we play this? How much of our stuff are you going to take?
Oh, I don't know if we could carry it all by ourselves. What do you think, Garrett? How much do you think you can carry?
Garrett has gone off and investigated the rest of the cavern. Because he's pretty sure you've got this. He comes back and he says, well, there's a jolly boat down there I could probably row.
Oh.
So, fair amount of it, probably.
Very nice. All right. Anything else interesting around about these parts?
You asking Michael? Yeah. Let me just check. No, there isn't anything else. That, like, what they have in this is the storage cavern.
Right.
Yeah, that's all the value. Also, the same building.
There aren't any more of y'all, are there?
Oh, sorry, I apologize. There is another cavern. Garrett says, "Oh yeah, well there's a bit more stuff down on the way to the river. Some more casks and bolts and stuff."
Okay. Are there any more, y'all? Or is this it? Because there was, what, 3 upstairs, 2 hobgoblins, and then you 3, so that's 8, 11 beds. Anyone else we should be prepared for turning up and trying to stab us?
Not right now.
Can I insight?
Yeah, inside it.
Natural 20.
He is being deliberately non-specific. There definitely is more people, but they may or may not be coming back in the short term.
Right. Oh, Michael, I don't feel like that's the whole truth now, is it?
Well, we're only one half of the operation, but they're not due back for a couple of days.
Okay. Because I'm going to be honest with you, Michael. We really just needed somewhere nice to stay for the night. In case you haven't noticed, it is pissing down out there.
Yeah, that's why we're down here.
Okay. Well, I'm basically going to have to leave you tied up at least overnight because, you know, I don't want to go out in the rain. So...
we could bring them all back up and pop them on the beds, then at least, you know, that'd be the nice thing to do.
It would be. I was thinking...
And we were looking to do a bit of goodwill.
Yeah, well, look, we'll take you back upstairs. Fortunately, you still have to stay tied up. And we'll try and make you comfy as you can while still tied up. And then in the morning, we will leave a strategically placed means for you to free yourselves, and we'll be on our way.
He looks at Sanballat. I love that you just have not interested at all in talking to that guy. Yes, you're very cute. You are. You're exceedingly cute. Yes, very lovely doggo. Gets in the way, yeah. And Sanballat gives a single nod. And he says, all right. Sounds good to me. How are the others?
Sorry?
Did you knock the others out like you did us?
I tried.
Oh.
So sorry about them. They're a little bit dead.
Shame.
It is a shame. I don't like.
And one of the girl next to him, Sandra, starts crying.
Oh dear, one of them was like family or something, wasn't there?
She looks not dissimilar to the other girl.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was that your sister?
She sniffs and nods.
I am sorry.
She doesn't say anything to it though. She just sort of deals with it.
Garrett, can I have a word with you real quick?
Yep. Garrett's like, well, they're not going anywhere. You want to leave the rat?
Yeah, rat, you just stay there. Come get me if they start untying themselves, okay?
Yes, make an intelligence check on behalf of the rat. It is still just a rat.
But they don't know that.
Sure.
17!
Valid. It is a -3 to intelligence, but yes, the rat with a 14 intuits that if they get up and try and start moving around, the rat is to come and get you. Yeah, you head down towards the sea.
Yeah, basically just want to get out of earshot.
He takes you down and is like, come have a look. Yeah, you head down the cavern towards the sea. The passage widens to the south to form a small cavern. There are 3 bolts of cloth and 5 small casks in the middle of the room. It's not a particularly big space, about 15 feet wide. And as you head on down, the passage leads out into a cave that opens directly onto the river. The tide is out at present, and there is very little water in the cave, but there is an obvious high water mark 3 feet above the floor. Pulled out onto the sloping cave floor is a small boat, perhaps large enough for about 8 people, with oars, a step-down mast, and a neatly furred sail. A rope is tied to the bow that is being held down by a large boulder that serves as an anchor.
Would we be able to manage it just the 2 of us?
Yeah, you'd think so. And such a thing would probably be worth about 100 gold pieces. As well. It's a neat little boat. If either of you have any experience in sailing at all, you could sail it reasonably well. I don't know if Beryl would. I can roll for whether or not Garrett has any experience at all. But you could certainly, like, rowing is not a difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
It's hard work, but it's not. It only requires a small amount of sort of coordination to row a boat. With no training at all, I can do it, and I know that because I've done it. So yeah, one way or the other, you could definitely get it underway. I will. Ardana, could you roll me !roll space 20 in chat? Type that up there, and we will see if Garrett gets over a 12. He has some experience with boats. Little baby.
Oh, need an extra L there.
There we are. 10. No, Garrett doesn't. Garrett can probably row it reasonably well. He's probably rowed a boat more than once, but he doesn't know how to sail. Which is not an easy skill, as it is one I actually possess. It is something that takes about a week to learn how to do. Even moderately well.
I don't know about you, Garrett, but I don't know how to sail.
Well, we don't have to use a sail. I could just row us.
Yeah, we heading downstream or upstream?
It would be down.
Oh, okay. That
towards the ocean, bottle down. Yeah. All you have to do really is steer. If you can steer, and it's really easy, I could show you how. I can add a little bit of propulsion with rowing, but yeah, we could just ride the current. We could probably fit most of this stuff in the boat. Anyway, sorry, you wanted to talk.
Yeah, I'm just I'm trying to work out in my own mind how best to do this, because, like, I don't want to just kill him, you know.
They were going to kill us for not very good reasons.
I know, but...
And they're criminals. Violent criminals. Unless we took them with us. Hand them into the authorities at Bottle Down.
You know what, Garrett? That ain't a bad idea.
I don't think we should tell them until tomorrow that that's what we're going to do.
That's a good idea.
Otherwise they might try and escape. If they think they're going to get away scot-free and just lose a bit of gear, they might be alright with it. But, like, if they go to prison or they get into a work gang or something, I think we're probably going to be safe from goblins. Which is my primary concern, because there's nothing stopping them from telling the hobgoblins that what we did.
Yeah, okay.
And, you know, at which point we have a big gang of hobgoblins, and I don't want to fight more than one at once. Those two were hard. Like, they were good. And that armor's nice. I might have a look at that in a minute.
Yeah, you did an amazing job, by the way,
Thanks.
Garrett. Really excellent work. Right, well, let's bring them up to their room, and we'll tie them to the beds.
Yeah.
And, let them think that in the morning we'll, like, leave a knife for them to cut themselves free.
Yeah.
And, then we'll pop them in the boat and take them with us. And, provided they're tied up and Wizard doesn't, you know...
Kept gagged. Yeah. I mean, do you need to be able to speak to cast magic?
Depends on the spell, really.
Oh. Should we check on him?
Well, I think the rat understood, but, you know, it's hard to tell.
It is a rat.
Yeah, but I was kind of banking on them not knowing how smart the rat is. So
He's a pretty handy rat.
Definitely smarter than your average rat. But, you know,
It's
they might
smarter
think
than your average rat.
But, you know, it's kind of like, they might think the rat's really smart. So they won't try anything because they think the rat
fair.
can.
I mean, you are obviously magically commanding a rat. A giant rat.
A giant rat. I do like commanding my giant rat. It's kind of cool.
That was worth every penny.
It's been a productive trip. You know what? I feel real good about arresting him now. Like, I was like, oh, I can't arrest him. I'm not in law enforcement anymore. And I was like, no, I'm allowed to do the right thing.
Yeah, I think it would be the right thing, because that's not killing him, which would be, I think, I would feel bad about it. I wouldn't, particularly after killing one of their, like, sisters. That was...
Yeah, I feel like we've caused her enough emotional pain.
And we've still got a bag of bat.
We do have a bag of bat.
I think we should let the bat go.
I think we should let it go when we leave.
Yeah.
Okay, well, do we want to do anything about the skeletons behind the danger door?
Well, we took these guys on reasonably well, but I might have a sleep before I...
Yeah, maybe in the morning.
Maybe in the morning. Yeah. Let's cut off an appendage, at least. Jesus, off the bat?
Okay, well, let's take our prisoners upstairs, and, about what time is it in the day by now?
It's night. It's probably midnight.
I don't know about you, but I could go some food.
Yeah. I mean, at least one of us should probably stay up to watch our friends.
Yeah, we're gonna have to sleep in turns, aren't we? I wonder if the rat could keep watch for a while.
Probably could.
Probably could.
If it's done a good job of this so far, I'd be kind of reluctant to... Oh, it could certainly wake us up if one of them does something, though. And you keep them, if we keep them separated.
Yeah. Like, put them spaced out, you know. They can't talk to each other.
Chat is seriously pushing for some minor mutilation. Just a little bit, just to lose a finger or two. The archer definitely deserves to lose at least one finger, says Ravensteel. Wow.
How medieval.
I'm personally very curious about the skeleton closet. Yeah, obviously, yeah. Can we just cut off an appendage, at least, off the prisoners, maybe?
Oh, come on. I want them all. Alright, well, shall we load
What
the
if we
boat up
we
now?
got them to help us with the skeleton closet?
Do we trust him enough for that?
Well, they could open the door, at least. What if we untie one of them? Is that right?
Michael
You open...
seems a reasonable man.
Michael seems a mite too competent for my taste. I was thinking Sandra. Or as I like to call her, meat shield.
Oh, you do have a wicked sense of humor, Garrett. All right. Well, I'm naked. Let's take him upstairs, tie him down, have some food, have some sleep, and then we can worry about these such decisions in the morning.
All right. Sure. So, you do not ungag the wizard, I assume. You get back and they do not appear... The wizard looks like he might have been trying to undo his bonds, but he doesn't seem to have managed it. The other two seem okay with the whole situation as it is. They think they might have been like, okay, look, how much are they going to steal from us? You know, worse things have happened. So, yeah, you loosen their leg ties enough that they can sort of hobble back up. Garrett strips the armor off one of the hobgoblins. It is Mariner's Scale Mail. This is magic armor.
Cool.
It gives the wearer a swimming speed.
Very nice.
It is scale mail, however, so Beryl can't wear it, but Garrett could probably put it on. As a fighter, he is proficient, and it's only medium armor, so he could wear it without problem, but it would give him disadvantage on stealth, which he's not great at already. So he doesn't immediately, like, don it. He would want to clean it anyway. He also strips the armor off the adventurer that you guys found, because that guy was wearing plate. And he's like, that is worth a pretty penny. And we've already robbed the guy, so why not?
Oh, you know, we're not completely, you know, lovable.
Yeah, so you bring them back up. You've already robbed them of all of their possessions that were worth anything in the footlockers. You retrieved from the footlockers. I don't know if you wrote this down, Beryl, but you did get... Where was it? In the...
That was a rabbit that time.
Yeah, each one has 7 gold and 15 silvers. There are 10, so 70 gold and yeah, 150 silvers. So 85 gold all up from their personal possessions.
Cool.
Yeah, you're not stealing anything, so yeah, you get the whole lot. So that right there is 85 gold pieces. You allow them food, do you?
Yeah, basically I'll be like, does anyone need to go to the loo? I'll give them some food. Basically,
you let them use the bucket in the corner before you tie them all back up again. You're very careful about it, I assume.
Oh yeah, very careful.
Garrett's got them.
The wizard, basically, one of us is going to be sitting there with a crossbow while he's ungagged.
Oh, okay, so you are going to ungag him and let him eat?
Yeah, we're going to let him eat, but there's going to be like a crossbow pointed right at him the whole time.
How, like, are you going to let him talk at all?
I would advise you not to say anything, because I got a bit of an itchy trigger finger, and I'm worried you're going to magic me. So if I was you, I'd just put that food in your face. Okay?
Make me a persuasion check.
16.
Okay. He looks like he's about to say something arrogant, and then the scout, the archer, kicks him. And he glares at the archer, who's sitting across on the next bed, but just puts the dry bread in his mouth, chews, swallows, and yeah, just eats and drinks, and then allows himself to be re-gagged. Yeah. Well persuaded.
Thank you, Sam Bella. I appreciate your cooperation.
Yeah. You do that.
I'm really glad I didn't get blasted into a cave wall today, you know. And I'll feed my rat as well, obviously.
Oh, the rat's happy. The rat is a happy little rat. Yeah. So you're back up in the relatively comfortable confines. You probably closed the door to the basement, to the caverns. Light the fire. It's quite warm in there. Not an unpleasant place to spend the night. Would you both sleep in the main room with these other guys? Or would one of you take Sanballat's bed?
I think we'll take it in turns to sleep.
Yeah, oh, definitely. But would you both sleep in?
The sleep goes in the other room. The other person stays out.
Okay, right. So yeah, you would only if you both do if you have a 12-hour. It would take you. You would not both be able to get a full good night's sleep, and watch these guys. Even with the rat,
a half decent night's sleep each.
You can get a half decent night's sleep. Basically, what I'm going to say is you will regain half of your spent spell slots starting at the lowest ones, Beryl. So if you've spent 5 spell slots, you can have 3 back starting at the lowest. And you can roll hit dice, but not.
Yeah, that gives me all my 1 and 2s back. So.
And you can roll hit dice, not
regain hit points,
but not regain hit points. Garrett only has 4 to regain, so he will roll his final hit dice. And you wouldn't be Song of Resting. Gets a 1. Yeah, he's back to 30. Unless you Song of Rest. You could Song of Rest. There's no particular reason why not.
It'll be for myself.
Let's roll a d6 then as well. 3 is enough. He's rolled very badly on his...
Well, pair of 6s. I get 12 hit points back, which means I'm only down 4.
You can... How many... Did you only have 1 hit dice left?
Well, I can't find my hit dice on the sheets.
You would have as many as the level of... You would have as many as your levels.
Oh, okay, cool.
So you have 5 total.
Alright, everybody. Just knocking things over. Well, then I still have 2 left, so I'll roll another one.
Yep, cool.
5. I'm back to full.
There you go. Okay. And Garrett has regained his second wind, and his fire rune. And Garrett will spend most of the time he's up watching these guys, perusing his new books. And when he lets you have the first sleep, because he's like, I couldn't sleep anyway, I'm a bit wired, so I might sit and read these. And when you wake up, you find him sitting next to Sanballat, reading to him, like talking to him. Not like Sanballat is still gagged, but he can nod. And he is, yeah, Garrett is like, so this one here, I think this means that this bit is about stone giants, which is kind of cool. The rat did not take any damage. And the rat can be dismissed with the pipe and resummoned if it gets injured. It cannot regain hit points. It is a magic rat. However, fun story, you will be resummoning the same rat.
So it will always know what's happening.
It'll always be the same rat. But your ability to control it will vary depending on the summon. Cool. You can only summon it once per day. But if you summon it one day and it doesn't take any damage, it just hangs out with you, basically.
Basically, I'll let it hang out with me.
Yeah. And it'll be a handy secondary jailer. It's probably snoozed with you. Like, it wouldn't be useful as a guard, I wouldn't have thought, but it'll snooze out in the main room with whoever is on watch, and if shit gets down, it'll wake up and help, is sort of the deal. Yeah, Sanballat is, like, looking at him with the look of, I can't believe I didn't find this, I've lived in this house for ages. Yeah, Garrett is translating, he looks up, oh, hi, Beryl. Turns out, this book that we couldn't read, it's written in Giant.
Oh.
And I'm sort of working on translating it between this book and that book.
Cool.
And you notice that the rune on his chest that he carved is now a lot more permanent looking, and it looks like it's been scorched into his leather.
Looks like you're gaining some new skills there, Garrett. I'm very impressed.
Oh, I didn't do this. That just happened when I did the thing the first time.
Oh.
It lit up and burned into it. It actually hurt a little bit, but that's all right.
Well, it looks cool. Is our friend Sam Ballard there helping you?
No, I just wanted someone to tell. And he seemed magical, so I thought he might be interested. And Sam Ballard like reluctantly nods that he was actually interested in it. It was and he looks irritated that this is at how interesting it was that he did not be the one to determine it. Beryl, you have 4 hours of sleep before the sun would come up. What do you do? Do you just sit and watch? Would you chat with them, or are you just going to have a quiet sit?
Well, if they want to sleep, I'll let them sleep. But if any of them are awake, I'll chat to them.
Yeah, they do. So Garrett is a flat 10 to intelligence, Ravensteel, but just because he's not incredibly smart doesn't mean he's a stupid boy. He likes learning. Yeah. It was pretty much the primary sort of directive that Garen gave him when she created him, because he's all about them books. It's how he met Beryl in the first place. He was stealing books because he couldn't afford to buy them. Books are expensive in this world. He's now got a massive stack of books. Most of his backpack is full of them. He's very happy. He's a happy boy. He's picked up like 4 or 5 books that are really interesting, and one of erotic poetry that he did keep, but he has not looked at. Because he's a bit embarrassed about it. So yeah, you let them sleep. Beryl, make me a perception check. Right. Yeah, I don't know.
14.
14. Beryl, about 2 hours into your watch, you notice that Sanballat is trying to free himself. He's being very subtle about it, but he is using time, essentially. He is pretending to be asleep, and he is trying to rub the ropes on his wrists. He's trying to rub them down so that they will snap if he pulls on them.
I will go over and retie him. But, oh no, actually, I'll sneak over, I'll stealth over, and then, like, appear.
Roll me a stealth check. It's dark down here.
Stealth.
Probably
16.
16. Yeah, you sort of appear over him, and his eyes sort of flutter open.
Nice try there, but not quite good enough.
I'm going to say you tie each hand to a different bedhead.
Yep.
Like, so he's now a bit more spread-eagled.
Apparently they charge extra for this in certain establishments.
And he looks even more grumpy. But you don't have any further problems with him throughout the night. Following morning arises. Yes, the rain seems to have blown itself out during the night. However, yeah, the sky is still grey with cloud, but yeah, there is a fair amount of there is a fair amount of wind still. It is still but it's the aftermath of us. Yeah, it is a really good backstory, Ravensteel. I quite like it as well. This is why Karen's a good storyteller.
Thank you.
That was her first NPC she ever created. And I really like that I'm getting to use him because he was just a neat little character and we really liked him, so we kept him. We'll see how long he sticks around, but for now, yeah, he's a cool boy.
Cool. In the morning... so... Cool. So we'll,
So Garrett's like, so how much are we taking?
Well, I think as much as we can fit in the boat, really, without overburdening it too much.
And he would say quietly, and also them. I reckon we could probably get most of it in there, plus the 3 of them.
Physical
Do we
training.
want to look into the skeleton closet?
Oh, I am mighty curious.
These guys knew their way around things. If it wasn't they didn't want to mess with it.
See, this is where I wish I had a spell where I could look through doors and see what was in there before I opened it up. I'm just worried the curiosity is going to eat me alive if I don't look in the door, Garrett.
I know, right? I know, right?
You feel me?
So, Dan Ballott's spellbook has a bunch of spells prepared in it. It contains the spells Dancing Lights, Minor Illusion, Ray of Frost, which are all cantrips, Charm Person, Color Spray, Magic Missile, Silent Image, Magic Mouth, and Scorching Ray. With a sufficiently high Arcana check, I would allow you to utilize that book to cast one of those, or to attempt to cast one of those spells. But none of them would allow you to do the thing that you're wanting to do, really.
Yeah, I suppose my other idea, Garrett, is I do have a spell that dispels magic. Basically, it's a spell that gets rid of other spells.
Oh. Well, it's because they're animated, right? They'd be like...
That's what I'm assuming, that there's some sort of animated skeleton. So if I cast Dispel Magic, they might just turn into a pile of bones.
Maybe.
Maybe. Or I'll destroy all the wards on the door and they can get out.
The door is not warded.
Oh, right.
It's just barred.
Okay.
There is a heavy wooden beam across it. Yeah.
Well, shall I try that then? I'll dispel the magic, and hopefully that will either weaken or disable them.
All right. Not a bad idea.
And then we'll know what's there, I suppose.
My gosh, was that you? Oof. She doesn't often, but when she does, by golly. Yeah, all right. Thank you.
Oh, she totally, what do you call it?
Didn't drive by me, though. She stuck around for it.
Yeah, she did that to me. She came into my study, sat on the mat, and then got up and left almost immediately. And then I could smell the fart. I'm like, how dare you, dog? That's so rude. Okay, alrighty then. Hey, Sandra.
Yeah?
I'm just going to get you to do a little, favor for me.
Yeah?
Basically, I'm going to do a little bit of magic over here by this door. And then me and Garrett are going to point some crossbows at it, and you're going to open it for us, okay?
You want me to open the door?
Yes.
Can I have a weapon?
No, but you can stand behind the door as you open it.
Are you going to untie me at least?
I'm going to loosen.
Make me a persuasion check.
18.
Do I have to? I'd really rather not.
Look. If it turns into a shit fight, I will cut you free straight away, okay?
Okay. All right.
But yeah, I recommend opening the door and standing behind it, so if whatever's in there does come out angry, it doesn't go straight for you.
Okay.
You'll be fine, Sandra. I got you.
Okay, Sandra does this. You and Garrett are preparing actions, one assumes?
Yes, I'm going to
shoot the first thing, or are you gonna cast it first?
Yes, I'm going to dispel magic through the door.
Read me the spell.
Choose one creature, object, or magical effect within range.
Doesn't have to be that you can see.
Doesn't
say so. Cool. Alrighty. Yeah. You cast it on the creature that. So I would say that you have to be aware of its position. However, no, not necessarily. It doesn't say that, does it? One creature, object, or thing. All right. You
just
cast
has to
it.
be within range, is what it says.
Okay. You cast Dispel Magic on the thing in the room.
Yep. So
that you were interacting with. I will rule that that is enough in this instance.
I am aware of where it is. And,
yeah.
Yeah.
You might not be aware of. You know the room it's in. You don't know exactly where in the room it's in, but you do know that there is a thing in there, and you have been told it's a skeleton, so you can have a rough guess at what it looks like. So in your head, I'll give you that that's enough that you can go off to have a rough stab at that spell within range. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Basically, I have to roll an ability check.
Uh-huh.
And the DC is 10 plus the level of the
spell.
magic spell.
Yeah. Very well then. Cast that spell.
17 on the dice.
Pretty damn good.
Plus
Beryl.
Intelligence?
It would be, yes.
So intelligence is +2.
Oh, don't stress it. 17 was more than enough.
Well.
Yeah. Yeah, you hear, Beryl, I'm assuming you're listening, a collection of bones clatter to the floor.
Sandra, if you
how does this work as well? Like, how do you cast this spell?
I'd have my dulcimer out, and I would just...
And not your +1 flute?
Don't need it, do I?
You're a traditionalist. You prefer the dulcimer. That's your favorite instrument. Okay, fine. Yeah.
Don't want to accidentally get rid of the rat.
Very well. You cast Dispel Magic on the room, and it goes away. It clatters to the ground. Then you step back and draw your crossbow?
Yep, draw my crossbow. I'm like, Sandra, if you could open the door now, please.
Sandra, with some degree of, like, okay, that sounded promising, actually. Yeah, will open the door and pull the door handle towards her. As she does so, a skeleton staggers out of the room. Because you had to play music quite loudly. And you woke up one of the others. And it immediately cops 2 crossbow bolts. Make me attack rolls, please. From you and Garrett. Garrett only got a 9. He misses in his surprise. Because he genuinely thought you got it.
19.
19 hits. As the first skeleton staggers out of the room. Brandishing a long sword. A short sword.
5 points of damage.
5 points of damage to the skelly. Roll me initiative, Beryl.
19. Oh my goodness.
Nice. Beryl, Garrett got a 12. Garrett? He's not so good this morning. 19 for Beryl. And the skeletons rolled an 8. Meaning 10. You don't know. You can only see one.
Can I see a pile of bones?
You are not looking into the room. Well, sorry, the room is dark beyond where you are looking. You can make out... Well, actually, you've got dark vision. Yeah, you can make out the room beyond is... only about 15 feet wide. It goes 15 feet into the room that you can see, but it does clearly continue on to the left beyond the door. So you're looking in through the door, which is at one far end of the room. You cannot see any more skeletons within the room, but there is one staggering towards you that has a crossbow bolt in its shoulder. It is clacking its jaw, like its teeth together in its jaw in a sort of menacing way. Yeah, it is going to stagger towards you. Sandra would have initiative as well, but she is tied up. She got a 19 on the die. She was ready to bolt. So Sandra actually got first. She got a filthy 20 for initiative. And Sandra will hop towards you as her action sort of, help, Beryl, help! Arms out. The rat will also go after your initiative. It's your turn, Beryl.
Okay. I'm gonna use vicious mockery.
Okay.
On the skeleton.
Very well. Yes. You're going to say something hurtful to it. What do you say, and what do I have to do?
Actually, can I clarify? Can I do vicious mockery and then cut Sandra free as a bonus action?
Yeah. I will let you cut Sandra free as a free action if you like.
Oh, okay, great.
To what end?
Oh, just so, you know, if she has to defend herself, she's not tied up.
Okay, so she is unarmed but not tied up anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, very well. Yes. I will let you command the rat as well if you want.
Yeah, cool. And I'm gonna be at the skeleton, I'm gonna be like, you ain't nothing more than a bag of bones to me, you dust bag.
Yeah, it got a 3 on its save, so it did not. So roll that damage.
Oh, sorry, I rolled the wrong dice there, hang on.
Pretty loud music. Bit better.
So it takes 6 points of damage and it has disadvantage on its next attack.
Roll. Yeah, it does. Beryl, your words cut it to the quick, and it sort of staggers and collapses to the ground in a shower of bones. And Garrett goes, "Oh, that was easy."
Yeah.
Do you think there's any more?
I think we should go find out.
And Sandra says, "I think there was at least more than 2." Garrett reloads his crossbow and it takes aim again as a third staggers out, followed by a fourth.
Sandra, could you get your bow? Now you're no longer tied up.
Sandra did not have a bow. She's like, "I'm rubbish with the bow. That was my sister's thing."
So what weapon did she have?
She had a short sword.
I will hand her my short sword.
Okay.
And whose turn is it?
It is the skeleton's turn, but Garrett is going to use his held action to shoot one of them. An 11 does not hit. Garrett, why am I using dice? But I still rolled a 6 plus 5. 11 does not hit. So Garrett misses again. He's like, "Oh, sorry, Beryl, I'm a bit off this morning." He draws a short sword and stands in front of you instead. And it is now the skeletons do advance on you. One of them is going to swing at Sandra, and the other is going to swing at Garrett. A 19 on the dice and a 16 on the dice. They're both going to hit both of those people. So, yeah. It's a filthy 20 and a 23. So 1d6 plus 2 piercing damage on Garrett and Sandra. 6 for Garrett and 5 for Sandra. And she tries to parry it, but she's only just got the blade in her hand. Sandra does get to go next, however, so she is going to attack back. Ravensteel, seeing as you asked about Sandra, please roll me an attack for Sandra, who's now on your side, apparently.
Well,
certainly as long as there are skeletons involved.
Look, I feel as long as they're a mutual enemy, Sandra's not going to cause any trouble.
Yeah, no. Sandra has a +3 to hit. So exclamation mark roll space 20 +3 will be her attack. A 16 +3 definitely hits. Roll that damage. 1d6, please, for the short sword, and this we will add +1 to it. On this second skeleton. Skeleton is going to take... Beryl... No, I'm not going to tell you that. A 1. Oh no! She did 2 damage. On one of the skeletons. That's okay. Look, she helped. She's a bit spooked. Yeah, she is. Alrighty, Garrett, it doesn't have his turn yet. No, it's Sandra's turn, and then it's Garrett's turn. No, it's Beryl's turn next. Beryl, you can command your rat. Do not forget Ratty Boy. Also, you know that the spell Dispel Magic seemed to work.
Yes, I can only cast it once more, though.
Ah. Oh, it's a 3rd level spell, yeah.
It's 3rd level. But, you know, I'll still have all my other... Oh, no, I can't.
No, you didn't regenerate those.
I can't do it again.
Yeah.
That's it. Alright,
How many spell slots did you regenerate? How many have you spent?
Today, I've only used my other 3rd level. I regained all my 1st and 2nd levels.
I thought you had spent 2 firsts and a 2nd.
Yes, then you gave me 3 spell slots.
No. I said you regain half. I said if you'd spent 5, you would regain 3.
I'd spent 1.
If you'd spent 4, then you would only regain 2.
Okay, so that means I have all my 1st levels. I have
2nd level or 2 2nd levels.
I have 2 2nd. I have 4 1st level, 2 2nd level, and no 3rd level.
No 3rd levels. Okay, cool.
Can
cool.
I cast Shatter behind the skeletons?
Yeah. It'll damage the wall a bit, maybe, but that's okay. Yeah, you can do that.
I will do that then.
Arjana joins D-Rab hiding under the floorboards, giving the good vibes. Time to make food. Oh, no worries, Ardana.
Good. I'm hungry now. All right. So the saving DC is 15 Constitution saving throw.
Can't say. Pair of 5s.
Yeah. Nope. Which means they are going to take
2 3d8.
3d8 thunder damage.
That's probably gonna do it.
What's the wall's
Errol, describe this to me as well. What's the wall's HP?
I rolled pretty balls. 6 7
total.
7.
Okay.
How do I do this?
No, as in describe the spell.
It's almost like the air contracts slightly.
Ooh.
And then pulses with a purple shimmer.
Nice. And again, it's like a strum on your dulcimer and boom.
But it's almost like someone's fiddled with the amp. So it's like
cool.
A chord.
Yeah, both of them take the full 7 points of damage. You rolled 3d8s and you got 7.
Yep.
Ouch. Okay, so one of them has taken 9 points of damage, and it's thunder, isn't it?
Yes.
No, I think it would, because they're extremely old. And it's like a force... I think it would. Just, yeah, so, both of them sort of shatter apart. The bones just are so old and brittle, they just collapse into sort of powder, almost. However, Beryl, drifting through the door behind them, is a more ghostly form. These ones were just skeletons. They were naked. This one is wearing a dark robe and a almost typical looking wizard's hat. It has a ethereal ghostly beard on its skeletal chin, and it seems to be drifting slightly above the ground. It is still bony and skeletal, but it clacks its jaw at you in a mockery of laughter. And it says... Secrets found and lost and then found again, your paltry minds cannot fathom.
Creepy.
Yep. And...
Get him.
The rat chitters and then leaps at this thing. And look, Spina, can you roll... Yeah, by the way, Spina, the wall did not take any damage because walls have a minimum damage threshold of 10, I'm going to say, and 7 does not hurt it. However, could you roll me for the rat to attack? Rat attack. The skeletal alchemist. Exclamation mark roll space 20 in chat. Beryl has done her thing. And next it will be Garrett. And I think Garrett will... Garrett's probably going to do his fire rune again, you know.
Garrett, go Garrett.
Oh no! The rat... So the problem is the skeletal alchemist is semi-corporeal.
The rat just goes straight through
so the rat just sort of leaps, and he's drifting a bit, and the rat's not super tall, so it leaps at the semi-corporeal robes of this this skeletal form, and it just sort of sails right through. It looks a bit confused as it turns around and bares its fangs, but the thing did not appear bothered by it. Garrett goes, "All right, you big bony git," and he is going to take a swing with his scimitar. Getting a 14. This thing does not have a particularly high AC. He is going to hit it with his fire rune. So once again, flames burn along the blade of his scimitar as he takes a swing and uses his bonus action to empower himself. For his fire rune burns on his chest. The flame licks up the sword and he slashes through this creature. It's not vulnerable to this damage, but it does definitely take the full. It has magical resistance, however, so it will be resistant to the restraining effect, which is a shame. It rolled a crit fail and a 15, so it does resist Garrett's fire rune, so it's not going to be restrained by the shackles. It will, however, take the 2d6 extra fire damage. So scimitar for 6, and then a further 2d6 fire damage.
We have been raided!
Raiders! Eldritch Scribe! Thank you so much for the raid!
We're fighting a ghost wizard.
Yeah, a ghost wizard, exactly. Throw those favorite raid emotes up in chat. Welcome, raiders. Yeah, we are playing mano a mano, 1v1 D&D. Thank you so much for the raid. I hope your game went well. Yes. Ooh, spooky raid emote there. I like that one. Is it a ghost?
It's a girl with star eyes? Little horns?
I don't know. It went very well. Good to hear. Des, how are you, my friend? It's been a while since you got to raid us. But thank you so much for the raid. Yeah, it's an absolute pleasure to have you here. Yeah. So you're doing great. Glad to hear. Yes, we are in the midst of a dungeon crawl through the very first adventure in the book, The Ghost of Saltmarsh. And I've never really tried running modules before, so this is interesting. And it's so nice because it required very little prep. I prepped for about an hour today. It was great. Yes, we have Beryl and her offsider Garrett, and her offsider's offsider, a rat, and a bandit that they've captured called Sandra, who's just helping out right now. Because, you know, any enemy of an enemy is an ally of mine, and this rat is this skeletal wizard has come through this door in the basement of this house that they're in. They've got a bunch of other bandits captured. They've only let Sandra loose because they want the help. Offsiders for days, exactly right, Zadasha.
I like to imagine that Michael and the wizard are just lying, still tied up, going.
Yeah, Sanballat the wizard is like, woo, 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 woo. Actually, Sanballat the wizard is watching keenly. Like, ooh, this might be good though. Not that you're paying any attention to him at all.
No, I'm very distracted.
He's like, hey, look, if these two get killed by a skeletal wizard and then Sandra can somehow manage to free me, this could be good.
No. Could work out for them, but I'm going to do my best for it not to work out for them. So.
Alrighty. Yes, please do check out Eldritch Scribe on Twitch. They are amazing D&D streamers. Exactly correct. We will say shout out at Eldritch.
Whose turn are we up to?
I will be with you in just a second, I'll tell you. We were at... Garrett just hit it for a bunch of damage, that's right. 13 points of fire damage and scimitar damage to this ghostly form. As Garrett knocks it about a bit. Yeah, it takes 13 points of damage, and Garrett squares off against it, and it cackles menacingly at him. And then it would be its turn.
Oh goody! Let's see what this bad boy's got for us.
It is going to lob acid at you. This skeletal hand comes up and yeets a glob of acid at you, Beryl. I'm going because you dispelled most of its mates. A 12 to hit does not. The next one is going to go at Garrett because he just fired it, but only a 2 on the dice. It does not manage to hurt either of you, which is good. Beryl. We go back to the top of the order. Actually, it's Sandra's turn. And Sandra looks at you like... Shall we? Is this... Are we? Yes?
Yes, hit it!
Oh,
sorry,
okay.
wrong accent. For God's sake, hit it, Sandra!
Alrighty. Well, Eldritch Scribe, would you do me the immense favor of rolling me a d20 in chat? !roll space 20. And we will see if you guys can get Sandra to hit this thing. Yes, that would be good. Or if you were involved in post-game chats, anybody else in chat is very welcome to as well. Any of our raiders, very welcome to roll !roll space chat. I like to have my chat roll my dice for me. For my offsiders.
If it goes badly, it's not Josh's
we can blame
fault.
somebody else. Yeah, exactly right. So that's what Sandra will do. I doubt she'll manage to kill it, however. So, Beryl, you would be next in the order. What do you do?
Right. What have I got left in the way of offensive spells? Because none of my first level are offensive, and I've only got 1 second level left. I kind of want to keep that in the tank in case Sandra gives me any trouble. I'm going to Vicious Mockery.
Bishop Blood, a 14 on the dice. Hits.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
Very nice.
Bishop Blood, roll that attack. Roll that damage. 1d6, please. Roll a bit better than last time.
I'm going to mock it viciously.
Oh, what do you say to this nasty old man who is claiming you can't possibly figure stuff out?
Oh, I know.
Another one! Oh god, Sandra's got a blunt sword. Why did you give her the blunt one? It takes 2 more points of damage.
Oh, I know lots of things. Like, I know that even a rat don't like the taste of you.
It has resistance to this. However, it has advantage on saving throws against spells. But is it a con save or a wisdom save?
It is a wisdom save.
It got a 9 with advantage.
Fails.
Oh no, thanks very much, Ravensteel. You're all good. Well, yeah, Sandra hurt it for 2, and then Karen, what? 5 points of
psychic damage.
Psychic damage to this person. It's now taken 20 points of fire damage and psychic and blades and everything. You guys are really setting about this creature. Your rat will also now continue attacking.
Yes.
Ravensteel, do you want to roll for the rat?
Go on, Ravensteel, roll for the rat. Who I really need to think of a name for.
I kind of like Rat Attack or Rat-a-tut.
But yeah. Oh, for those of you who are interested, because for those of you who just arrived, I saw what looked like a very large rat earlier today, but I know it wasn't a rat because...
You're thinking probably a bilby.
I actually
19 on the dice!
Very nice!
Rat Attack works. Yeah, roll a 1d4, please, Ravensteel.
But yeah, so I actually Googled what marsupials look like large rats. And I've discovered that in WA, there is a marsupial known as the southern brown bandicoot, or the quenda, which essentially looks like an enormous freaking rat. Yeah, they turn up in Perth, so that is the most likely candidate for the giant rat.
Well, that is 3 points of damage because Ravensteel also rolled a 1.
What is it with the 1 damages? Oh my god.
Hey, look, another 3 points of damage. It is, like, sort of ethereal, sort of skeletal, but this one actually does do damage, at least. So, yeah. It does 3 more points of damage to this skeletal alchemist. This is the previous owner of the house. And Sandra says, I think that might be the dude who used to live here. Oh, why did he seal himself in his basement? Why is he skilled? I have so many questions. And she's like hacking away at it, and it just cackles at her. You understand nothing. Chip damage better than no damage. Exactly right. Death on butterfly wing flaps. Well, it would be Garrett's turn now, and Garrett's like, just kill it, Sandra. Ask questions later. And he's slashing away as well. Garrett is going to make a scimitar attack. 17 hits. Ooh, for 8 damage.
8 whole damage, my goodness.
Hey, look, that's not bad. Oh no, I'm rolling in slow motion now. And then his short sword comes up with... Crash on me. Annette. Yeah, wow. A further, I think that was an 11 for the short sword. There it is, yep, 11 for Garrett's short sword, which does equal the AC of the creature he's attacking. Perrin, could you describe to me how Garrett does this? Because Garrett just got the remaining hit point he needed to knock off.
He'll kind of just bring it in like a slashing movement, like he's trying to open its chest.
Oh, right, yeah. And a whole bunch of the bones in its chest get taken out by this swing, and the more ethereal elements of this creature, the rest of it sort of falls apart from the slash down. Like, you know, I don't know if you've seen a picture of some sand sculptures, and you knock a bit away, and it just sort of slowly, the sand falls out of it, but the rest of it stands, and it just slowly falls away. But it's smoke and bone collapses, cool. So the head is still there last, chattering away at you like, you will never learn the whole, and then the jaw, the bottom of the jaw falls away, and yeah, you never learn what you will never learn.
Well, you know, some things are better left a mystery.
Hey, McBluff, well, we're still playing. We haven't even taken a break. We're just sort of pushing through because I kind of want to finish this adventure. No, you haven't missed too much. Well, you've missed a bit. You've missed a dungeon crawl and a couple of fights. In fact, we have just finished a fight with a skeletal alchemist. As its body, sort of, the remains of this creature drop away. And Sandra is panting, holding the short sword. And, she looks down at it, and then looks back up, and Garrett says, please don't.
I'd really rather you didn't.
She goes, and hands the sword back to you.
Thank you.
I think it's blunt.
Well, I'll look to that. Thank you. Good work.
Thank you. You need to tie me back up?
If you don't mind. I'd say it's not that I don't trust you, but I literally do not trust you. I'm sorry.
In my position, I probably wouldn't trust me either. Fair. You also notice that the bodies have been sort of dealt with. And you can assume it was Garrett. The bodies are now lined up along the one edge with blankets over all of them.
Alrighty. I'll quickly tie Sandra's hands and feet again.
Yep.
Let her sit in the bed, and then I'm gonna quickly check out this danger room.
All right, the danger room. Danger, danger. The light spilling in from the large room behind you barely shows that the chamber is about 12 feet across, and the corners are filled with shadow. What little you can see is dingy and dirty. It does not appear to contain very much. Other than that, it's just an empty room. The creatures, you find you find 3 piles of bones in here. You can assume that your detect magic, your dispel magic, did for about half the skeletons in here.
Awesome.
But the other 3 did not. However, Beryl, make me an Arcana check. High voltage. Danger, danger.
Sorry, Arcana, you said?
Arcana, yes.
15.
Most of the necromantic energy is gone, however, you can still sense the transmutation stuff, and it's not in this room, it is beyond the wall.
Can I examine the wall more closely, please?
Make an investigation check.
15 again.
Nice. Beryl, you can find... Firstly, yeah, you can find a secret door. This place appears full of them. At the far end, in the corner, and a bunch of cobwebs. Yeah, you find it is just a jar. There is a line in the brick that is straight. It's a seam, an obvious seam, but you had to be looking for it to find it. And you give it a shove, and it scrapes on the ground a little bit. And you go, and Garrett's behind you. Go, oh, you're good at that.
I'm getting a lot of practice in lately, I have to say.
Yeah, there is a room beyond. Garrett has, meanwhile, checked out the skeletons because the remains of the alchemist. He comes to you and says, "Look, look." Each of the skeletons he's holding a bunch of bones. He's holding a bunch of rib bones. Each one of them contained a single rib bone that was coated in gold.
Oh, wow. That's so cool.
They've got carvings on them. You assume that's how they were animated. It's about 5 gold pieces worth of gold.
Very nice. That's like you
but he's also got a little... Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. I kind of wonder what would happen if you put them in a new skeleton.
Let's not find out.
No, because I don't know how to control it. But here's the other thing. And he holds a bag up. It's very plain brown burlap bag. Looks about large enough to contain, I don't know, a large book. And Garrett puts his arm in it. His whole arm. And he says, "Beryl, I think we've got a bag of holding here."
Yes. Can I look in the bag?
Yeah, it's like looking into a black void.
Oh my goodness. Is there anything in it?
Well, the thing about black bags of holding is you have to, like, you put your hand in and then you think, I want the thing.
Oh, right.
So you kind of have to know what's in it. But we could try, like, he puts his hand in and he says, "The last thing that was put in this." But it does not appear to, and he pulls out his hand and says, "Empty." Maybe. Probably. He flips it upside down and shakes it, and nothing falls out.
Wow.
And then he actually puts one of the rib bones in it, and flips it upside down, and the rib bone falls back out. And he's like, "Oh, it must be empty then."
Fantastic. Well, it's going to be a lot easier to move this stuff.
Yeah, I mean...
small things in here.
Yeah. He puts all the rib bones in it, and he actually starts putting books and stuff, like, he empties his bag out into it, and he's like, "Oh, that's better." Like, he would have... because he had about 10 books in his backpack.
He was carrying a heavy load.
Yeah, he was almost encumbered.
That's gonna... We need someone to crack your back at some point after all that. Do you mind covering me while I explore this new room?
Sure. The secret door opens toward you to reveal... It opens toward you to reveal a clutter of broken glass and earthenware piled on the floor beyond. 3 small copper pots lie in the debris. As you enter the room, a bench runs around the west wall that seems to be a laboratory. Of what seems to be a laboratory. On the bench are jars of powder and liquids and several pieces of chemical apparatus. There is a table against the south wall forming an L shape with the bench. A book is open on the table. Garrett obviously goes straight for that. Also on the table is a candlestick with a tiny stump of an unlit candle in it, and a variety of other items that, even in the dim light, shine with the warmth of pure gold. One of these objects looks to be a human skull.
Oh. Garrett, is that a gold skull?
Looks like one.
Wow. Okay. I'm gonna see if these parts contain anything interesting.
Garrett holds up the book and says, "Ye secret of ye philosopher's stone."
Oh! He was an ambitious man.
What's a philosopher's stone?
Well, Garrett, it is a mythical stone. Since no one, well, I've never met anyone who actually found or made one. It produces the elixir of life.
That might be what you know of. That might be what you think a philosopher's stone does.
In this world, what does a philosopher's stone do?
Make me a history check.
Shit. Cue me spectacularly failing and not knowing. Oh, actually, didn't spectacularly fail. 16 on the dice, plus 5, 21.
21. All right. You would recall, and I will give you advantage on a different thing later on from this, that a philosopher's stone is used in alchemy to create to create several different things, but mostly it is sort of a focus for alchemical process. The primary goal of alchemy is to turn base metal into gold. And yeah, it is difficult and dangerous, and it looks like these 3 items may well have been turned into gold.
Garrett, just on the off chance, I think we should see if we can find a stone in here.
Make me a thorough investigation, then. I will give you advantage because Garrett is helping.
15 and 8. So we're going to go with the 15 for a dirty 20 to investigate.
Filthy 20. Alright, yes. The golden objects on the table are made of pure gold, but were manufactured that way. You have seen enough skeletons in your time to know that that is a skeletal skull that looks like one from the outside, but it's really difficult to make all the little knots and nits and bits and things, and you actually have another skeleton to compare it with, like you've got a skull there, so you can bring it in and have a look, and he's like, nah, that someone's made it. It is not a skull that has been turned into a skull, into a gold, it is a golden skull. It's worth about 20 gold pieces worth of gold. And anybody who likes like weird and slightly macabre ornaments would probably pay a little bit more for it because it's well made. Yeah. There is also an apple that's also made of gold, and a rose, a golden rose. There are also a set of 5 small discs which are balance weights, and they're worth 5 gold pieces each. Yes. There is also 47 gold pieces worth of coins on the table. And you find a concealed drawer that contains a spell book the alchemist used when he was alive. The book's contents include Dancing Lights, Comprehend Languages, Tensor's Floating Disc, and Shatter. And the chemical apparatus on the bench that is still intact would also be worth about 20 gold pieces.
Oh.
Garrett is perusing the book. Because he's like, basically he sums up. He says, oh, okay, so this is how to make a philosopher's stone, this book. Describes how an object can be used, how you can use that to turn an object, turn something else into gold.
Right. Well, looking at these, it looks like they were made of gold rather than being real things that were turned into gold.
However, you, I'm going to let your 21 carry over. You also find on the, now that you know to look for a stone, and you did say you were looking for a stone specifically, the body of the alchemist is now sort of powder on the floor. Sifting through this powder, you do find a stone.
Oh, I found a stone though. Is it magical?
The object that you have found, the stone that you have found, which is a small grey pebble, inscribed with runes but not of the same, not of giant origins. Garrett could confirm. He doesn't speak giant yet, but he definitely is like, no, those don't look like giant runes. Yeah, it is a magical stone. Make me an Arcana check.
18 on the dice, 13. So plus 5. So maths, 23.
This is definitely magical. This is definitely a magic rock. It's hard to tell exactly what it does, but you get the feeling that you would learn what it does when you attune to it.
Right. Well, I'm going to tuck that away.
Yeah. And Garrett's like, you might need that if you're going to use the Philosopher's Stone.
Well, let's hang on to it and see how we go.
Oh.
Shall we pop some of the stuff in your bag of holding then?
Yeah, he just sort of starts sweeping stuff into his bag.
Oh, actually, Garrett, just give me a second. I want to try something, and I'm just going to stick my hand in the bag and go. The Philosopher's Stone.
Oh, did you put the stone in the bag?
No, I have the stone in my pocket.
Oh, okay. Nothing appears in your hand.
Okay. I take the stone out of my pocket, put it in the bag, and then do the same thing again.
Sure.
The Philosopher's Stone.
That stone appears in your hand.
Oh my god! Was there a caveat?
Your Arcana check was very high, so I will allow you to know that it might have been just because that was the stone that you were thinking of.
Oh.
Like, if there isn't a Philosopher's Stone in the bag, it's not an identify bag. It's like...
Right, okay. Sorry, I think I got a little overexcited there. I think it's just because, that's the stone I was thinking.
No promises. Like, basically, the bag is not a way of confirming whether or not it is, in fact, a Philosopher's Stone.
Okay. Well, it could be. It could be.
Maybe.
Let's pack up and move on out.
Very well. So, Errol, I will get you to make... What ability check would you utilize to get the people into the boat and all the stuff into the boat? I presume you load the boat and then go back and get the peeps.
Charm person does last for an hour.
Only works on one of them, though.
Yeah, but I have...
It's a concentration, isn't it?
No, it's duration, 1 hour.
Oh, okay. It should say concentration or not, though.
No, it just says 1 hour. They can fight it though.
Yeah.
And then they'll know they were charmed. You know what? I'm just gonna level with them.
Charm person's not a bad idea, and they could if they like your spell save DC is pretty decent.
Yeah, it's 15.
Yeah.
I'd have to beat a 15 wisdom saving throw, so I can charm all 3 of them technically.
No, but she does have a bunch of first level spell slots, Ravensteel.
Yeah, it would be first level charm person.
I'm just gonna check if it's not concentration, so she can do it again and again and again, and it lasts for an hour. Yeah.
Yeah, because
You can even then get them to help you load the boat, if you succeed.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking. I'm like, if I successfully charm all 3 of them, they'll like, I've got an hour, so they can load the boat, settle themselves in, and then we'll just go off.
Yeah. You're not fighting it anymore, so it wouldn't have advantage, these people. So, yeah, I'll roll for them then. I really like this idea. It's a very efficient way to do things. Pair of 11s and a 6. They all fail.
They're all charmed.
Got some good hits in earlier, but now, yeah. You charm Sanballat, Sandra, and Michael. And pop them all in the jolly boat. And, yeah, without...
to pack up all their smuggling stuff.
And they're like, oh, yeah, okay, great, brilliant. Sanballat, do you ungag Sanballat?
Well, he's charmed now, so he's my friend.
Yeah. Regards you as a friendly acquaintance.
Yeah. I'll give him a break. And I'm like, and I'll let them, like, eat and, like, relieve themselves and whatever. So,
thanks. No, this is really decent of you, actually, yeah. Oh, yeah. Sanballat also thinks you are a very excellent host.
well, thank you, Sanballat. You seem like a very learned man.
Yes, Sanballat is very learned and an extremely gifted thief.
Oh, it's good to have skills. You know, Garrett was a very poor thief, so fortunately he gave that up and turned to calligraphy instead.
I'm now a very avid collector of books.
He's got a lot of books. He's a very good scribe, very nice hand.
Sanballat also has many books.
Yes,
and a room that smells of rich mahogany.
I may have robbed you, Sanballat. I'm sorry.
Ask them not to resist.
I don't mind robbing Robbins.
Yeah.
All right. Well, everyone get in the boat now. We're going to go for a little ride.
If you use the catapult spell with the stone in the bag, could you make the stone return along the same trajectory if you summon it from the bag? The stone in the bag. Could you make the stone return along the same trajectory if you summon it from the bag?
You have to be at the bag to summon the stone back, though, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Would Sandra hold a grudge against Beryl? Sandra probably would after the spell wears off. Yeah, I mean, I expect
all buddy right now.
All three of them.
They're all going to be real mad at me. They're going to know I charmed them as well.
They're definitely going to be aware of the charm and also a bit hacked off that you went back on what you said you were going to do. Yeah, they're definitely going to hold a grudge after this, but you could have killed them.
I could have killed them. They're alive. They just have to go to prison for a while. They'll be fine.
Maybe. Yeah. So yeah, you take them to Bottle Down, presumably.
Yeah. We load them in the boat.
They even help sail for the first 45 minutes.
And then I'll be keeping track of time, and I'm just like, oh, Michael, could you tie those 2 up for me, please?
Sure thing, Beryl.
And then I'll tie him up. And then,
yeah. Oh, this is fun, hey? Wait. What the hell?
I'm sorry. I didn't want to have to manhandle you, you know?
Oh, you meant about the whole sister slaying thing. Yeah, no, she is very upset about that. Yeah. Yeah, you do that. You sail them up to Bottle Down. And I think we'll leave it there. Been streaming for about 3 hours and it's a bit late.
But I will sing to them every night on the journey.
Oh, it's only like a 6-hour row up to Bottle Down.
Yeah. Well, if I'm not rowing, I will be singing songs to them.
Yeah.
Even if they're cranky about it.
Make me a performance check.
Only a 13.
Yeah, Sandra seems to accept her fate a bit. Michael seems hacked off, and Sanballat is grumpy. Like sulking at the bow of the boat. Does not like that someone cast Charm Person on him successfully. Thought he was, like, tougher than that. You get that impression from him. He's gagged again, obviously, so, yeah.
I try out the work in progress that is on the Path of the Raven to see.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I try out my draft of, did I call it on the Path of the Raven or on the...
Yeah, I think it was on the Path of the Raven.
I want to check now.
Very
on the
sooty.
Trail of the Raven.
Trail of the Raven.
Now, y'all, I'm gonna sing you my new song. It's called On the Trail of the Raven.
As you helm the ship, and Garrett Rose. But yeah, you make reasonably good time. You've got quite a bit of loot, and 3 prisoners. Yeah, she does. And a suit of plate mail, and a suit of scale mail that is mariner's armor.
That Garrett can wear if he wants.
That Garrett can wear if he wants. It'll actually increase his AC by 1. Sucky dog.
Yeah.
Sucky dog.
Look at you.
She's holding my arm as well with her paw.
Oh.
Yeah, you are. You're very lovely.
I have a rabbit indoors as well.
Well.
Oh, she's cleaning her little ears. So cute.
Or Guinness. You can just see it as well. I can see it.
Can you see it? Yeah.
You sort of need to know what to look for.
Who wants to see the rabbit?
Show us that bun.
There she is.
Hard to make out, but yeah,
it's hard to make out.
She's sitting on a little bed.
That's the rabbit.
You can see this little circle. Alrighty. Well, guys, we will go away from here now, I think. So, Karen, firstly, we need to talk about favourite moments.
We do.
Can I have my hand back?
I have several favourite moments today. This
no,
was
Daddy,
a really
I'm holding
fun session.
I'm holding Daddy's hand. I did too. It was fun.
Oh man, it's so funny that some of my notes, my handwriting's like freaking immaculate, and then other sessions, my handwriting is just trash.
Ravensteel, it was an absolute pleasure having you. Thank you so much. Amazing game, amazing story. So fun to take part in the character rolling. I'm glad you enjoy it. That's sort of our vibe with this. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit different from our normal games because there is just 2 of us. So it does allow us to interact with the audience a lot more, which is kind of fun. It's a bit of an experiment. But come back next week because next week Karen will be DMing.
It will be my
yes,
turn again.
because this is the that's the first part of the adventure done. There is a second part that I have not read. So Karen will take over the adventure and continue it. And
Fantastic.
we might play quite a bit of Saltmarsh because and just take it in turns to do a chapter.
I should say, just to clarify, because I realise we still have the bat in the bag.
Yes.
So, as we depart, we'll release the bat.
Unleash the bat.
Like.
And
Thank you.
it flaps off up into the rafters of the house where you caught it originally.
It did a good job. I enjoy the Bag of Bats. I love that Bag of Bats came into play again.
Twice, yeah. Twice. 2 uses of a Bag of Bats.
I
love that you had 6 and there's still 1 survived.
Yeah. One gets to live. He did a good job.
And it did 7 damage to Sanballat, who was a bit of a tank. Sanballat had 27 hit points. Yeah. I was a little concerned about that combat because those hobgoblins are potentially really dangerous.
Garrett just freaking went in
nailed them.
Wailed on them.
Yeah. Garrett's fire rune was dope. That was my favorite moment.
Was so cool. That was so cool. I really enjoyed the rat as well. Just the little interactions with the rat.
Yeah.
It's delightful. I also enjoyed Sandra's reaction to be like, "You're gonna open the door for us," and she's like, But I love that I followed through on freeing her if we were attacked, and then she actually fought with us and then surrendered. I'm like, good on you, Sandra. You're a good egg. I'll put in a positive word for you.
You rolled some very good persuasion checks, and she hasn't actually done anything to you. She just killed a bat and then fell asleep.
Yeah. Sleep is a super useful spell.
Sleep is so good, particularly at low levels. You can put out.
Yeah.
Man, you can put out rooms of people. Yeah.
It's been really handy.
It's like your #1 combat spell.
Yeah, because like often there's kind of it's just been like, because of the area effects of a lot of the spells, it's hard to like use them without hurting people you're fighting with.
So Ravensteel liked also the fact that I rolled double nat 1s for damage for the rat and Sandra. Yeah,
nat
look,
1s for damage today.
You did a lot of hitting, but not a lot of damage.
I also love that my other go-to combat spell is Vicious Mockery. I just kill things by insulting them really scathing.
You put things to sleep and insult them. Yeah. You have a crossbow, for God's sake. Although Vicious Mockery is quite reliable and does good damage, so...
Yeah, it's fun, you know? I just love her, like, not super insulting southern insults.
Yes.
You bag of bones. Even a rat don't like the taste of you.
Yeah. I think my favorite Karen moment was just clever, good idea, dispel magic to get rid of the skeletons. That was smart. That was good. And it's not technically the way the spell works, but I did like it. I was just like, no, I'm going to allow this because it's a good idea. And then you rolled really well on it. So I was like, well, all right, I'll give you this. I'll give you this because it's a good idea. Well played. It's a good use of the spell. Technically, you can't dispel undead skeletons, but given the way they were made...
They were magically animated.
Yeah. And just gave up. Yeah, the first skeleton, yeah, you just insulted to death.
You just a bones. Oh, I am.
Oh, I am.
My life is meaningless.
And non-existent. Blah. Yeah. Yeah, Sanballat's got quite an interesting backstory, but you're just like, nah, I'm not going to find it out. That's fine.
Well, we'll try and...
I did like that I got to say something in his voice, because it specifically says that he speaks in the third person.
That was delightful.
Sanballat thinks I have many books. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's a ton of spells you can cast while tied up, so I wasn't taking it.
Yeah, no, valid. Absolutely valid, yeah. I didn't, like... I wanted to give him a couple of chances to try and escape, but yeah, you just noticed. It was just well done. So, bit sleepy, a bit tired, a bit run down. Garrett and Beryl get to bottle down and hand these three over to the law enforcement. Yeah.
And I'll be like, look, the young lady's name's Sandra, and she's very reasonable. If that counts for anything.
We will have to investigate. Well, no, we will roleplay that next time.
Yeah.
That is Beryl saying that to the constable. And yeah, we'll leave it there. So, Karen,
pick it up next week.
Who the absolute heck are you?
I am Karen, sometimes known as the mother of bunnies. You can follow me on Twitter at MotherOBunnies, because for some reason it won't let me have of bunnies, even though it doesn't appear anyone else has that handle. Life is unfair. You can also follow me on Instagram as my burlesque alter ego, Miss Lola Moore, or you can listen to my dulcet tones in the D&D podcast, There Be Dragons, where I play Ryland Westfall, a dragonborn warrior who just keeps getting stabbed. And we just dropped a new episode last week, so I can't remember what number it is.
I think it comes out like today, though, actually, because it was...
No, it's out.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Cool.
So yeah, you can go listen to that. There's a link in chat, or just search There Be Dragons on your favorite podcasting platform.
It is up on all of them, and Spotify as well, I think. Ravensteel also really liked Garrett and Sanballat moment, was really cute as well. Yeah. When you wake up and he's reading to him. He's like, I figured this out and this out, and he's like, fuck. I didn't figure this out on my own, because he's like, that's the reason he set up shop in that building, because he wanted to learn the secrets of the alchemist, and you guys have been there for 12 hours and figured out all of the secrets of the alchemist. You found the alchemist's secret laboratory, you found all of his alchemy, and Sanballat's hacked off, just having a shitty day, but he's blaming his underlings for not wanting to go into the skeleton room, even though obviously that's where everything was. And Madame et Monsieur, Dame Unterherren, and beings of indeterminate gender and persuasion, I be Josh the Pirate. You can find me here mostly on Corsair's Cove, where I DM D&D. I will be DMing again on Thursday for more Humblewood, where we will be back with Bennick, Eric, Kesh and Julio, finding out more what happens with them there, with the wonderful Zadasha from Eldritch Scribe as Julio Switchgear. They're getting deep into a conspiracy and a bird cult in the Humblewood. They may be looking for an elemental, but they're also looking for a sneaky bitch who tried to stab Bennick in the night.
Well,
didn't try. She succeeded a couple of times.
She succeeded.
She stabbed him up good. Yes. Other than that, I'm actually don't have an awful lot of streams at the moment. I might be streaming Lana again in the future for a sneaky thing, but I'm not allowed to talk about that yet. But I built my character for it today, and she is a hedge wizard. So that's going to be fun. Other than that, you can find me in the meat space in the comedy puppet thing, Pupperotica, with my lovely lady wife as well. And I'm also part of the There Be Dragons podcast. It's a fantasy D&D podcast in a gunpowder setting where I play the infamous and deadly pirate Skern Felspar und his little dragon, Rush. We just had a recording session on Sunday as well. It was super fun. We're quite a ways ahead of the release schedule at this point.
So and careful.
Skern has a serious party dad day.
You a party dad, and
everybody's having a lot of stuff going on, and Skern's like, okay, I guess I'll just put my stuff on the side and deal with everybody else's stuff for a while. So yeah. Karen,
we appreciate the support.
Yeah. Tell us about Ukraine.
All right. Ukraine. It's full of Russians, which is a problem because they're not supposed to be there. And a number of Russians, a number of Ukrainians, about 8 million Ukrainians have been displaced by the conflict. So a number of charities and aid groups have banded together to form the Emergency Action Alliance, which is the link in chat. They have raised almost $2 million to support Ukrainian refugees. The Australian government is donating a further $2 million to that. So if you have any spare pennies in your digital bank account this week, feel free to follow that link across and drop it in there, because the Ukrainians are having a rough time right now, and every little bit of support we can give them helps.
Cool. Brush for hire. No, I'm looking for D&D. Who's playing D&D? We've got Mindaria playing D&D. Because we need to find someone to raid. They're doing world building and homebrew. So we will go and drop a raid on Mendari, I think, because they are who Twitch is suggesting, unless chat has any ideas, because I think these people here want to play want to watch some more D&D.
Doesn't want to watch more D&D.
And Agent Number 1 is streaming, but they're playing Gas Station Employee. Gas Station Simulator.
Games out there.
Yeah.
Like, would you want to work at a gas station in real life? But anyway.
Word. So we will drop that raid on Mendari. Everybody, please throw your favorite raid emotes up in chat. Tell Mendari where you came from. Please smash the follow button here, and when you get there, check us out on our socials and our YouTube if you want to check out all the past episodes of this campaign you may have missed, and Humblewood as well. It's all up there. It's almost completely up to date, and what isn't up there is currently accessible in the VODs for our channel. So smash the follow button and you can do that too. And you can also join us on our Discord. I only have one hand because I have a doggo on my lap. So guys, thank you so much for joining us. We will go and raid Mendari now. And
have a great week, everybody. Take care.
Mendari, there we go. It looks like she is just having chats with the audience and talking about stuff. But that'll do. So we will start that raid up now. Throw your favorite raid emotes up in chat, and we will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for joining us. Say goodbye, Karen.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Discord.